If you weren't here for Lamar. Mike Jones? Lamar, there was that point in the season where you guys lost 3 straight, 4 or 5.
Mike Jones. Mike Jones. That's it. Mike Jones. That's it. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right.
What? What the fuck?
Oh my. Oh.
What the?
You bristle up? Because they should be not. Because I can bristle up too now. But you ask a question like that, and I'm trying to give you a logical answer.
The season's a lot like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. And so we've got to realize the importance of each football game.
Hey, when you
I use more product than anybody.
When you go get your hair done, what y'all tell them? Like to the left or the right?
No, I tell them go number 2 all the way up to a fade and just give me a faux hawk, man. It's a faux hawk, bro.
Number 2.
Hey, Paul, what do you tell them?
Hey,
It's a little off the side.
lead us on. Lead us on.
I always tell him I should leave a little bit on the top.
Oh.
Double dogs.
Yale Bulldogs.
Wow.
Not so fast, midget. Not so fast.
Midget?
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast. I go with Harvard. What's the matter?
I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take it serious. I'm not real serious. I put my heart and soul into it every single week.
All I'm saying is the camera show.
I'm just telling you right now what I do every single week. Every single week, I put my freaking heart and soul into this. I step my off. I go out there and laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's funny. I don't want to go out there and get embarrassed. I'm going to go off on everybody. That's why I'm asking you. I'll tell you right now. We're talking. Dudes are talking. What was the context? I'm done. Sorry. I'm not doing it.
I'm gonna say y'all I want to go to LSU, ended up going to Mississippi State, 1 game, 1 year out of 6. What do you think that's funny, T? It's got 2 leagues, don't you? Don't you want to be in the NFL? Hey, how you feel?
I just don't condone the bashing of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and have the
Green throws him in a chokehold, rips him back down, and is throwing punches. No one has any chill at this moment, and they're after it. All Ragnarok is breaking out there in Jacksonville, Bengals and Jags.
Right, tell the camera what you think about life. Like, how do you see life?
Sucks. But I'm playing football right now.
And just Smitty, so, and then none of them. So I had all the thought process planned out. But anyways, oh, there's Landon.
Clearly, Landon Dickerson, the center, All-American.
Watch this, George.
Boy, quick.
Oh, I knew how important this was for our team. Our team, chill. I knew how important this was for our team. It's just crazy to me how much music I don't know out here. Like, I know I'm getting old. Like, I listen to all types of music too. I just don't know shit out here. I ain't never heard this song in my life.
I'm big. Yeah.
1 yard.
Bro, y'all need help, bro.
Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that?
I'm gonna go to Cancun like everybody told me to do, and I'm gonna enjoy myself because I don't have nothing else to do. So take myself there.
So you don't quit. If you don't quit in sports, you retire. You don't get to quit. It's not an option. See, someone told me a long time ago, that ain't even an option. The person told me that, he ain't here anymore, he died.
Always tell our boys that the most important things in life are faith, family, and football. I don't believe it. You stupid son of a... Run the route again. Fuck you, stupid mother... That is so bad. Are you mentally challenged, son? Or seriously, are you mentally challenged? And if you notice there, I put them in that order for a reason, because the thing that comes first is your faith. Your faith with God is the most important thing in life. If you don't get your gear, we might not win a ball game all season. We'll go 0-12. And everyone in your life is going to hate you, myself included. All right? All right, bow your heads. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we as a coaching staff know that football is just a game. So we want to use this game to build young men of character. Win by any means necessary. So if you're at the bottom of the pile, you see someone's finger, break it. You see that star running back at the bottom of the pile, twist that ankle, get him out of the game. Anything we can do to win this ball game. I don't care if you got to play dirty. I don't care if you got to cheat.
I'm telling you, hey, they're rougher than a pine cone toilet seat. Those guys can really play.
Are you in this game? Let him have it. Let him have it. Oh, you shut the fuck up, man. Don't tell me nothing. You understand me? Get off the fucking sideline. Pushing on my. You don't push on my.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
We had several opportunities to make plays. We didn't get the plays made. We got to make more plays. It reminded me when I was in the 3rd grade, and it came time to go to the 4th grade in June, and they told me I was almost good enough to go to 4th. You were not. No, I had to go to 3rd. Really, kid? Yeah.
Get some time to get going, and here comes the. Oh! We almost lost one.
We got another game. Got another game, man.
And roll tide. Thank you. Roll tide. Roll tide. Roll tide. Roll tide.
I hate Tennessee, but the first ball is Tennessee. And I just hate them because they low down, they dirty, they some snitches. And I hate Philip Homer. I hate their colors. I'm not a dog person. I just hate Tennessee, man. Like, I hate Neyland Stadium. Looks like a garbage truck, worker convention. And I hate all the quarterbacks. I hate Tennessee, man. It reminds me, it's not that orange you can say. I hate Tennessee when I hate Auburn. I just dislike Auburn. I hate Tennessee. Tennessee's colors is that throw orange. It's not that orange you can sit with. It's that puke inside of pumpkin orange. And I don't like pumpkins. So I really don't like Tennessee, man. I can't stress that enough, man. And they lose, they sore losers because they're not Alabama, and I hate Tennessee, man.
I mean, his ability to just escape and make plays on the run, I mean, it's just outstanding what I've seen. And just the defensive side of it as well. They're not going to be a concern for me going forward if Alabama doesn't get their offensive line straightened out.
Chelsea, that's a great point, because if you look at Alabama's
60 seconds, right? Oh, baby. You know what? I'm still happy.
Alright, what is up, y'all? We are back. Let's start off with some drops for the Touchdown Tribe. So, we have the greatest mod in the YouTube streets. Shout out to you, Pooh Man.
Rolex wearing. Woo! Diamond ring wearing. Woo! Kiss stealing. Woo! Wheeling dealing. Woo! Limousine ride. Woo! Jet flying. Woo! Sucking on a gun. Woo! And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. They give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo!
Shout out to you. Always good to see you, Pooh Man. And we have G Honda. Shout out to you, G Honda, aka Gregory Ante, aka G Hudson.
Who the fuck could that be? What does his weird ass want now? What's up, Gaston? How did you get into my yard?
I climbed the fence, of course. You don't check your DM? I hit you up on Instagram last night. I sent you like 5 messages.
I didn't see it.
Where my hug at?
I barely check my DM. I just be watching stories.
You didn't watch mine. I always watch yours.
Yeah, you be the first person to watch. I appreciate it.
Shit, you know, I gotta keep tabs on my boo. Take a load of this. Nice, right?
Why is it so small?
It's average and it works.
I'm good.
Oh my. You always fronting on me, Belle.
Imagine that.
How about I take you out to Applebee's?
Let me think.
You bitch. Just say yes.
I had to play the full thing. Shout out to you, G Honda. We have my music producer for the show. I dropped his link in the chat. Y'all make sure to check out his channel. And let's see, CDTBs, where is your drop? Here we go. Shout out to you, CDT Beats. And we have Dan. Good to see you back, Dan. Let's find your drop. Here we go.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Scott. Just finished up the show. Guess I'm gonna head on out of here. Cool. Go home watching some television or something. All right. Enjoy.
Shout out to you, my fellow Dallas Cowboys fan. And we have Go Cree Cree. Great live last night. Shout out to you, Go Cree Cree. And let's find your drop.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane?
Yes, TD, I was on the SEC network on ESPN. All right, let's see who else we got in the building. Did I cover everybody? I think I covered everybody, but shout out to King Williams. He is from Real to Sports, and shout out to y'all. Okay. Y'all, look at the changes I made. I'm so excited about this background. So on the show play call list, we have motivational video. Going to do a Discord reaction to everything y'all sent me in the Discord. Let me move this chat. Let's see, where do I want to put it? We'll just put it right here for now. So, going to do a reaction. I have a video from Derek, Pooh Man, and Eric Jordan. So, shout out to you, Eric Jordan, and Pooh Man and Derek. Alright, and then we're going to do OKC versus the Spurs. Going to discuss that. Discuss the Eagles, what they got going on recently. And Speakeasy was back at it again, talking about the Bengals. But this time, Ocho was kind of changing his tune. So, we're going to get into that. And then last, going to get into LSU with Coach O returning to the scene and discuss my rankings on who I think has the best chance at a natty for the SEC teams. And that's for SEC teams only. All right, I think I covered all of that, but let me show y'all my background, what I got going on. So I got a quote from Nick Saban up here, got all the Alabama, little displays going on. We have the elephant for their mascot, Big Al, and also have jerseys from the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Jordan for Carolina, then some NASCAR, because I do like NASCAR as well. So got Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Chase Elliott, and then of course the Dallas Cowboys helmet and all of that. So really excited about this new layout. Hopefully y'all like it as much as I do. Let's see. Okay, you said it looks great. Thank you, CDT. I appreciate it. You say that so casually, and I think it's super dope. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it is, cool. I was on there a few times. The Real Death Valley, talking about LSU. All right, let's go ahead and get started because we have a lot to get into. So starting off with the motivational video. Let's see, where am I at here? I'm still getting adjusted to everything.
Outcomes are a distraction. Focusing on the process of what you have to do to get the outcome is the most important thing you need to do.
Let's hear it again.
Outcomes are a distraction. Focusing on the process of what you have to do to get the outcome is the most important thing you need to do.
Outcomes are a distraction. So focusing on what you have to do to achieve that goal, achieve the outcome you want, it needs to be the main focus. Shout out to Nick Saban for that. Y'all know I got a Nick Saban quote up there. I can't really read it because y'all can see it better than I can. I think it says, it's not about how good you are, it's about how good you want to be. So that's the quote from Nick Saban that I have up there. I want to switch that quote out because there's other ones I love more, but it'll do for now. All right, let's go ahead and get into what y'all sent me in the Discord. Let's see. What screen do I want to start off with? Okay, here we go. Back to, I haven't changed this one. I'm thinking about changing this one too, but we'll see. Here we go. This is from Eric Jordan, I believe.
That dudes who don't get women have to work hard to get the women that they want. It's always been like that. It's never gonna stop. And you know me, I'm never gonna stop tricking. Even though this video is not about me tricking, but let me just get back to the point. Travis Hunter is one of those guys. He really had to work hard to get to the women that he wants. I'm not saying that he looks any kind of way, but what I am saying that if he didn't
I don't
become...
think that's true. I'll just be honest with you guys. I really hate the slander that he gets that, oh, he had to work so hard to get these types of women. I don't really necessarily agree with that. And here's why I don't agree with it. As long as you have like a swag about you, the personality, the confidence, a girl will be attracted to that. I can promise you that. If she sees a man is about his business and has that, you know, personality about him, she's going to be drawn to that. You don't have to be the hottest guy out there. I can promise you, you don't. And I don't know. I feel like, let me just say this. I feel like it's different for everybody, right? This goes for a man or a woman. It's different for everybody. Sure, there's probably some out there that look for that, but for the most part, like for me personally, if you have that personality, I don't care. I don't care what. I don't care how tall you are, what you look like. I don't care. And I think it's just like, an example I'll use is, I'll use Rod Wave. I'll use Rod Wave as an example. You know, he's a bigger guy, right? But it's the way he talks. It's his voice. It's just how deep thought he is in the lyrics he writes. I think that draws women to him. So, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that, but let's keep going.
Who he was, he would have had a hard time getting somebody like Leanna Lene. But we all know that if he didn't work hard, he would have never married Leanna Lene. Now, Leanna Lene was on the road to nowhere. I'm going to be honest. She was no different than most of the chicks out there. She was dating
I'll push back on that. Let's see. What'd you say, G Honda? He didn't get the same type of women as Shador. What if that's not who he was attracted to? Like, what if that wasn't what he wanted? Like, everybody has different tastes. Not everybody's attracted to the same thing. So, I don't know.
By the name of Naughty Slim, which to me is probably her real type, like light skin, what she would consider a good looking and all that. Naughty Slim ain't have to spend $1 on her, and he has less than 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube. But Travis Hunter, in order to get Leanna Lene, he had to win the Heisman, be the number overall 2 pick in the NFL draft of 2025.
I don't think he had to do all that. And here, you know, I feel like it's unfair treatment because a lot of people speaking on her don't know her personally. I know that she has a past. I mean, I'm not saying she's innocent, right? Everybody has their pros and their cons to them. But just to completely bash somebody that you've never even spoke with or have a relationship with or know personally, why are you even speaking on it? You don't know her character. You don't know how she is around not only Travis Hunter, but his teammates and other people. Like, you really don't know the whole story. And I feel kind of bad for her, to be honest with you. I feel bad that she gets a ton of hate just because nobody knows her. It'd be different if you were someone who knew her and could speak on her character. But if you don't know her personally, don't come at me and tell me that she's a bad person. Because I'm not gonna, you know, believe it. I always say with the Dallas Cowboys, I believe it when I see it. Same goes for this girl. Same goes for this girl. I'll believe it when I see it. If I don't know her personally and she's never done anything to me, how can I say she's horrible?
And signed the contract over $40 million. And that's not all.
Man, Travis Hunter and his wife going viral right now. He say him and his wife just bought a 13-bedroom house. The house in Jacksonville, they spent over $3 million. I know exactly what y'all about to say in the comments. She ain't buy it, Travis Hunter bought it. A lot of people saying this wasn't a smart move for him to buy this house. They say he ain't played not one NFL snap yet.
And here's my thing on this too, is do y'all know what income she brings in? Do y'all know what she does? Because I guarantee you, They have a group of financial advisors advising them on how to invest their money. She probably has her own investments. We don't know. We don't know what she's invested in. She could bring her own finances to the table. Now, is it as big as Travis Hunter? Probably not. But let's not act like the girl is completely broke. I mean, what are you talking about?
He already buying houses. I ain't gonna lie, I was surprised by this. He must ain't got a financial advisor because most of them gonna say don't do it.
That's right, your boy Travis Hunter had to go ahead and drop that money on a brand new house. A $3 million house. Now, we're going to be honest, he was getting NIL money at Colorado. He been having a lot of money.
And that was my thing too, is they're getting paid in college now. So let's not act like this was a big stretch for Travis Hunter as well.
But for what I understand, the house is like 13 bedrooms on a golf course. It's something that he could lease, maybe save some of that money, but he bought it.
Now, Creekery, I agree with that. And I believe it was Tupac. Shout out to Tupac. But Tupac, I believe he said something about, why do we need all of these rooms? If you don't have kids to fill up those rooms, why do you even have all that? It's unnecessary. It's the truth. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Like, why do you need all that? I'm not going to fight on that one.
And then, when they got married, he brought her this Brabus AMG, like G-Wagon. It was black. Now, this car was at least about $600,000. Now, remember, in December 2024...
That was his decision. That was his decision to gift her with the car. Nobody else forced him to do it. Could she have asked him for that car? Sure. But nobody forced Travis Hunter to gift her with that. That was his choice. And I respect him for that. Like, if, that's how you want to express your love to somebody, that's your business. And I'm not mad at it. If that's your love language, clearly his love language is gifting. And I'm not going to hate on him for that. I know that he gets criticism for gifting her all this, and then what if they get a divorce? And I get it, okay? I get it. I'm not going to say that I don't understand that part of it. But again, that's his business. That's his love language. That's how he wants to express, his love for somebody. There's enough things going on in the world to worry about this. But here we are.
That's when all the news broke out that she was cheating. We found out about Naughty Slim. We found out about her spending the night at dudes' houses. We seen her twerking on guys.
That's a good point. The car could have been a part of an endorsement. That's true.
All of that stuff came out 6 months before they got married. And he got married and got her pregnant after all of that stuff was going down. He still cashed out for the wedding in Tennessee. He bought this truck.
It just sounds like so many people are plotting on their downfall. How could you speak on somebody you don't even know and talk so negatively and just plot on them getting a divorce? Like, we shouldn't be encouraging negativity. We should be uplifting and supporting and hoping for the best outcome for other people. But instead, we're a world that just criticizes and ridicules anybody and everything. It's sad.
House had the kid, but by now he should be done, right?
Apparently, Travis Hunter was doing some shopping, and he went to a purse store or a bag store, high-end, no doubt. And he said the guy said something slick to him, but he wasn't going to trip. He wasn't going to let the guy know that I'm Travis Hunter, and I play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Travis Hunter just politely left the store.
Now, this is the newest story that has come out about Travis Hunter. Allegedly, he went into this exclusive, purse store, to buy this very expensive purse for Leanna Lene, and for whatever reason, he was hit with some level of discrimination or racism or something like that, or somebody thought he was broke. They didn't recognize who he was. So we must already believe he's not buying the item for himself. He's buying the item for her, right?
And I mean, I don't know this story, this person speaking on this. I don't know if it's true. I haven't looked into it to myself. So take everything with a grain of salt.
And then, Leanna Lene is a new mother. The child must be at least maybe 1 year old by now. So for Mother's Day, Travis Hunter did this.
And that's junk tough. I don't think Leanna's I don't think she's looking at that stream. Like look at her car for Mother's Day. Look at her junk for Mother's Day. Ooh, that junk.
Okay. Here's the thing with the car. He was doing this at Colorado. He gifted her with a car, and it was like Hello Kitty themed or something like that. He's been gifting her this type of stuff for a while now, okay? It's not a surprise. I don't know if this is the same car that he gifted her with the wedding and he just got it wrapped. But again, why are we hating on someone we don't even know? We don't even know these people personally, and we're so wrapped up in their business.
Pressure. That car pressure.
So this is her with this new truck. I mean, it's the same truck that she already has in pink. Another $600,000.
Good for her. I mean, good for her. Good for her that she has a man who is kind enough to gift her those types of gifts. And I hope she's someone, again, I don't know her personally, so I don't know her character, but I hope she is someone who appreciates these gifts and does not take it for granted. Clearly, that must be the case because Travis Hunter keeps gifting her these things. If she was someone who showed signs of being unappreciative, I think Travis Hunter would put a stop to it. But clearly, she shows signs of appreciation, so he continues to gift her. Oh, man.
$1 purchase after he bought her the black one for the wedding. So that's over $1 million in trucks. Now, his rookie season was very disappointing. Many people hate that the Jaguars took him so high because they traded up to get him.
Now, it's unfortunate. I wouldn't say that he had a horrible rookie season. I think that's a stretch. It just was unfortunate that he had an injury. But he was getting utilized, and he was playing both wide receiver and CB. I think they talked about playing him more at CB or something like that this upcoming season. But why? I mean, that's another thing that irritated me with that. My bad, y'all. I thought it disconnected for a second. But that's my issue with America right now is, okay, the connection. It is storming. I'll let you know it's storming right now. Are we back? I don't know what all you got to catch, but okay, all good. All right, it is storming. Just keep that in mind. Hopefully we can get through this. But my issue with America is, like, we just plot on people's downfall, and now they're talking about Travis Hunter, and if he doesn't do well this upcoming season, he'll be considered a bust. Why are we talking like that? Instead, change your words to, hey, I hope you have a great season. I hope you stay healthy. Speak positivity. Don't be negative all the time. What is up? Eric Jordan, I'm reacting to the video that you sent me.
Have the best year. You don't really need all of that. You have this woman who, if she really cares about you, she's not really caring about all this stuff, all these cars, all these houses. But it seems like, he's paying this woman to be there. I mean, to get a G-Wagon 1 year, another G-Wagon another year.
That is so rude to say he's paying that woman to be there. You don't know their relationship. You don't know them personally. Why are you making comments like that? That is so disrespectful. Do not speak on someone you don't know. I can't comprehend it. Don't you all find, am I the only one who finds it weird that they speak on people they don't even know in this type of way? It's unfortunate. And they're not even, it's like, you can bring the pros and the cons to everything, right? But just to solely be negative, that's so unfortunate.
In two different colors, when again, you're recovering from an injury, the league is volatile, and you're just buying this stuff for her, and she's spending your money and not really adding anything to the table, that looks dangerous. But
he is not going to leave that girl.
And good! He shouldn't want to leave her. That's his wife. They have a child together. You should want them to stay together. You should want the best for them. What the heck?
She could act out in public. She could ruin deals for him.
She could, but has she? What has this girl done to show y'all that she's ruining his career? As soon as she started getting hate and disrespected, she fell back. She started to stay more quiet. Here lately, I feel like she's been speaking out a lot more, but for the most part, she stayed quiet. And I feel like that's so unfortunate. She should be allowed to represent her husband and speak on matters regarding like being an NFL wife and all of that.
She can do whatever she wants. She can sit down if she wants. She has him like no one else does. And as a mother, there is no winning that conversation.
I really agree with this lady here because it's very important to understand what she's talking about. Some men really fall in love with a woman, and unfortunately, it does not really matter what the woman has done. It only matters that they got to keep her. And could have meant that the man has went through something traumatic in his life where, he's feeling abandonment or she's feeling abandonment. But for whatever reason, there's nothing that you can do to tell this man that he's making a decision. Money is not an option. It don't matter if she cheated, it's not an option. And that lady has complete leverage over him. And this same lady, if she was to deal with somebody else in the league or just any other dude, she'll be living in a regular apartment.
To say that she has complete leverage over him, I feel like is a stretch. I mean, I know that they didn't sign an annulment, and I get why that is an issue. Now, I didn't agree with that. Not an annulment. What am I saying? Prenup, y'all. Not the annulment. Not the annulment. Prenup. He should have got a prenup. I think it's best for both parties to get a prenup. If I was in that position, prenup. Whether I was broke or if I had a lot of money, prenup. You're signing a prenup. I'm sorry, you're signing a prenup. But that's the only part I didn't agree with, because you look at it as you don't expect to get in a car accident, but you want that insurance, right? That's the same with marriage. You don't expect to get a divorce. No one's planning to get a divorce. That's not the goal. But you want that insurance, that prenup, to protect y'all. Protect y'all's assets. But that's their business. They, probably thought about it, and obviously they came to the decision of not having a prenup. But I don't know. What if she did sign a prenup? We don't really know. We don't know their business. I mean, all I seen was that there was no prenup. But what if there was? Like, I mean, what if there was? We don't know if they signed anything and just kept it a secret. We don't know. Oh, and I will say this too. You can actually sign a postnup. So if you get married and you don't have a prenup, but then you later decide that you want that, you can get a postnup and have that divided up. So it's not like it's impossible for him to, like, you know, get some sort of documentation protecting himself.
Have a regular job, maybe making 60 grand a year, doing nothing, not enjoying anything. And it's amazing to me how as men, we work so hard to get to where we are at. And then we choose somebody who has a past that is evident of possibly cheating.
He said possibly cheating. Here he goes again, criticizing someone he doesn't even know. Sir, have you met her? Have you met her? Have you had one conversation with her? If you've never met her, know anything about her, anything, don't speak on someone you don't know. Oh, it irritates me.
Not doing right, being regular as hell, and then rewarding that woman with something as we are busting our ass to deliver.
And that's his business. If that's his love language, to gift, he should be allowed to do that. And I commend him on that. I respect him for that. Because most men are selfish. Well, easy now. I'm not saying all men. I'm not saying all men. And it goes both ways, right? Women and men. They can be selfish. I'm not saying just men. But most men and women can be selfish to some degree. But he's out here being kind and giving. I commend that. I commend that. I respect it.
Damn well that if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be dealing with them. And you know what? Let me just say this. I know some folks don't think that, Leanna Linnea is attractive or that she's mid. But, she is mixed race and she does, dress up nicely. But I kind of want to warn guys about getting with those women out there who, in your opinion, are top tier.
Here he goes again, warning these men about women he's never probably been with or interacted with or had a relationship with, but yet he feels the need to speak on them. Yes, sir. Please tell me your logical points on this.
Tier twos. And why it's probably not a good idea to do that. Number one, just because you can do it, don't mean you should, okay? Just because you can get a chick that you feel is fine and that is good looking and that is beautiful, it doesn't mean that she like you. I've been with a lot.
Everyone should go into relationships assessing someone's character and their qualities. And then you also need to be attracted to that person. Who's going to get with someone they're not attracted to? Not many people are getting with anybody they're not attracted to. There's attraction around for a reason. And to say that just because he could get with someone like that doesn't mean he needed to. He probably assessed her character, seen qualities in her that he thought was great for a relationship, and chose to marry her. We don't know them. We don't know them. I don't know y'all's relationships, right? But I would say that y'all are with someone that you're attracted to. You assessed their character. You found qualities that you thought was great. I'll use CDT Beats as an example because he popped up here. CDT Beats, he was attracted to Sarah. He thought, this is a great woman to spend the rest of my life with, that I can have a family with. So he got with her. I mean, you're not going to be with someone for no reason. But he's over here acting like Travis Hunter got with the girl just because of her looks. Could that happen? Sure. But more times than not, there's more qualities that you're looking for besides just looks.
What a guy should do is really estimate a woman's type. What do I mean when I say that? Well, okay, if you want to know what a woman's type is, just look at her past boyfriends. It tells the truth. I mean,
This guy's a fool. I'm telling you, do not believe that, guys. Okay? I'm telling you, don't believe that. You can, okay, I'll say this. You can believe it to a degree, right? But I'm going to get into this.
You can just look at them and look at your ass for the most part, okay? Especially if you live in a city like, Atlanta, New York, LA. That gives you an understanding of where her mind is.
Now, you could see if someone has a fetish for a certain type, right? But if you see that and this goes for men and women, but if you see that this person has been attracted to different types of people, you can't say that, people are only attracted to one type. Not everybody is like that. You can't pin, women or men in that single category. And I'll use me as an example for this. I've been with white guys. I've been with black guys. They've been tall. They've been short. They've all looked different, okay? It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. The type, oh man. I'm just gonna let him keep talking.
Ain't even got anything to do with looks, family. A lot of black men gotta understand this. Look at what kind of man she like. If it's a dude that she's typically light skinned, the dude's typically tall, they got dreads.
You can be with different types of people. Be careful now, again, be careful of the ones who have fetishes for certain types, right? That only date one kind. I would say you could be a little bit weary of that. But if you see someone who has a background of dating different types of people, don't hate.
Okay? And your ass is the complete opposite. And
Exactly, exactly. We love all flavors. Don't pin us to one category. And this, again, goes for men and women. But don't pin people to one category if they have a track record of dating different types of people. Now, I will say this one. The ones on Kendra G, those are probably ones you probably need to be weary of. Those are good examples of you might need to be weary of some of them. The ones who only like the tall ones or whatever. You might need to be a little bit weary of those women, right? But that's not everybody. That's not everybody.
Convince herself that she want to deal with you. She'll go through the motions of having sex with you. And then what will happen is that still you're not her type, okay? And she can still like you and be in a relationship with you, but not give her all to you. And so what will happen is you will feel that. A lot of men feel when a woman don't really want to be with them or get her all. So what we do as a result is we want to overcompensate to keep her there. It's a natural thing. When you know a woman is kind of there, but not really there.
I want to know what man is doing this. What man is overcompensating to keep a woman? I ain't seen that yet. I'll be honest with you. I ain't seen that yet. The second, and this is just from, personal experience and, other friends that I've seen in relationships. The second that a man felt like this girl wasn't into me, they backed out. They were gone. They weren't going to put up with it. What are we talking about? And again, I feel like this goes for men and women. Same goes for women. If women see that a guy isn't all the way in, they're going to back out. They're not going to start spending more. Sure, you'll have those cases where there's some that probably will do this, right? I'm not going to just say that never happens. But for the most part, I feel like people are trying to make the best decisions possible for their relationships, especially nowadays.
Understand that you want to be with her. What we'll do is we'll start overpaying, giving in to demands. If she wants kids, we'll do that. But ultimately, in the end, she's still going to end up with those dudes. in the first place. The same thing that goes a lot of men that deal with women. All these women like I would say are thugs, right? Are hood dudes. And this is probably the most common thing. You have women out there who's not really picky about looks, but they like a certain type of man. Street dudes, scammers, pookies, all right? And they get to an age where they say, you know what, I'm going to try something new, all right? And you understand that. And at first, everything is cool. You know, she really respect the fact that you get up and work every day. You're taking care of your business. And everything is solid, right?
I'll say this. I have had friends who have been with guys that they ended up marrying, and that was not their type at all. That was never in their wildest dreams who they would have picked for themselves. So they didn't necessarily go with their typical type. But I'll let him continue.
But then it's going to come to a point where you're not who she's used to, and it's hard for her to understand you like that. So she starts drifting away, and you don't know why. Because that kind of woman is not for you. Even though you want to be with her, even though the cheek clapping is good, even though you like the vibes you get, but it's just not there. So in order for you to keep it there, you start overcompensating. I mean, we do it all the time, you know, trips, start going to trips, new homes, spending money, getting gifts, and it's temporary. But ultimately, what you're going to find out is the dude that she really want to be with, she's not going to have to do that. But the reality is the dude that she really wants to be with won't act right. The dude that she really wants to be with won't pay those bills. The dude that she really wants to be with won't be solid, because that's what you will do. And women can understand that, even though the dude that I really want to be with ain't solid, and I really hate that, but this is the dude. He respects me. You know, he makes me look good in person. I'm with him. I get social clout. He elevates me. So I'm going to stay right here, and I'm going to let him overcompensate. And if you ever find her cheating, it's always with a dude that don't have
Again,
nothing. And this is why
plotting on their downfall with these crazy suspicions. Like, I hope that does not happen. I hope that's really not the case. Again, we don't know these people personally. And I'm not, like I said before, I'm not saying those things never happen, but I would have to assume that it's pretty rare.
I try to tell dudes, man, for long-term relationships, you got to be comfortable with getting uncomfortable. And a lot of times, I'm going to tell you this, and y'all get mad. Whatever the kind of women you got before you got money, you should be looking long-term to deal a tad bit better than that, right? I mean, a tad bit better. That means if you can only get 3 or 4s before you got cash, if you're going to settle down with somebody, that need to be a 5, long-term. Now, if you want to mess around, you know, and have flings with 9s or 10s, that's cool. But the 5 is what you need to be with, right? Long term. That's you. I got a partner. He's down bad. I always say he badly built. He always looking for something thick. He built like a butter bean split in half. He got the worst polo shirts I ever met in my life. He the only person that'll go to the Kmart and buy 17 polo shirts in different colors. All 4X.
Kmart still exists?
Dusty ass First Sunday choir robes on. He's terrible. Every time you see him, he wants somebody thick, somebody bad. And then he'll go out. It don't matter where he at. He could be here. He could be in the States. He getting shot down every time. And if he do get the number, he don't never get the kind of ones that he want. I keep telling him he needs to get with somebody badly built like him. But he don't want to hear it. I said, bruh.
What? What if he's just built like that? Like, what if these girls are attracted to him, these relationships don't work out? What if he has the personality that girls are attracted to? I mean, I don't know his friend. But to me, personally, it kind of sounds like he's jealous of this friend. To me, like, I mean, oh man.
Stick with the badly built. If you don't want to be badly built, go to the gym. You ain't been there since 1987. Go to the gym, work on yourself, get you something a little bit better than a 5. He don't want to do that. He want to stick with the tier ones.
Again,
He come out here all.
you don't have to be the most attractive guy to get women. If you have a personality, if you have a swag about you, and you're about your business, a girl is going to be drawn to that. You don't have to be the best thing ever. I mean, this is just for me personally, right? Like, I can't speak on every woman or every man. Sure, there are going to be those who, you know, go through that. But for me, like, you don't have to be all that. But do you have the ones that are superficial and want those things? Sure.
All the time. He come to this restaurant, he gets shot down all the time. He might get lucky like 1 out of 1,000. I ain't gonna call his name. He my boy though. But y'all, I mean, you know, like I said, if you know, you know. He's badly built, family. If he get with somebody that look too good, he's done. All his money gonna be gone because he's badly built. He built like the number 8, family. It's done. Y'all gotta stop getting these tier ones, man. These tier
And I don't
ones
like
is for
the fact that he's encouraging him to lose weight just to get a woman. You should want to lose weight to be healthier. That should be your goal. To be healthier, live a better life, that should be the goal. But just encouraging someone, hey, you need to look a certain type of way, or else you're not going to get the right type of women, or they're going to be attracted to you for the wrong things. I feel like that's unfair.
They're fun. They not for no real long-term commitment relationship. You gotta have somebody who really want to be with you. You spend less money. Then for the ones like Leanne Lene, you have leverage over them. You know, you make them work hard to talk to you, message you, or whatever, and they just take whatever they can get because you got the wife. Your wife is gonna be there, take care of you. She gonna cook, get you what they can cook too, clean, keep house.
What if that's why Travis Hunter was attracted to this girl? We don't know. Again, I find it so weird that he's speaking on people he don't even know personally. He's never met the girl, never had a conversation with her, don't know what she's like. And yet you're saying all this negative stuff about her and their relationship and about Travis Hunter too. And then on top of that, you're talking about your friend. Listen, I would not want to be this guy's friend. The way he's speaking about this guy who he claims is one of his friends, I won't want to be friends with someone like that. He's giving him bad advice, encouraging him to lose weight to get a woman. What planet are you on? Like, you should be encouraging someone to lose weight to be healthier and to have a better lifestyle, not for superficial reasons. You're just as bad as what you think this girl is like. You're claiming that this girl is all of these things, but yet here you are talking about your friend needing to lose weight to get a girl. What sense does that make?
I mean, like I always tell you, brothers, you get the best bang for your money when you deal in the black community. I hate to say it, but it's the best bang for your buddy. Best value for a man can get is a black woman.
That's so disrespectful. That's so disrespectful. You should, again, assess someone's character. It shouldn't be about their race or any of those things. Judging white people or black people or Latinos or, you know, whoever based off their race and grouping them into one scenario is wrong. That's flat out wrong. If you see someone has a good character, you're attracted to them, and you have a deep understanding about who this person is, that should be the person you want to be with. Just to say that all white women, or like, you know, I'm assuming he thinks all white women, right? But the way he's talking, it's like he's pitting white women in a certain category. And that's not all white women. Just like that's not all black women. Just like that's not all white men. Just like that's not all black men. You can't pin these people. That just creates more strife and disagreements. I'm not a fan of that.
Look the best for what you got to give them. They the thickest, they beautiful, and they not tripping. Not like that for real. They really not. You go and get with these racially ambiguous ones sometimes, interracial dating, you got to cash out. You got to cash out.
Wow. Wow, y'all. Wow. I got a lot of thoughts about what he just said. Like, oh, I'm ticked off. Oh, I'm mad. I'm so mad because you're talking about this girl being superficial, only wanting him for his money, and yet you're talking about men getting with only black women who look a certain type of way, talking about you can get more for your money, and they're thicker. That's superficial too. What kind of double standard hypocrisy are you on? Because I'm telling you, that really made me mad. Yeah, right, Dan? What's up, Beard Man? Good to see you. I'll play your drop in a second.
You could have kept that over there with Keisha and them. You know what I mean? Keisha be clapping it up. She like I said. But y'all don't want to hear me. Y'all
I don't want to hear you. No, that's one thing you got right. I don't want to hear you.
Talking to y'all. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode.
I'm so ticked off about this just because he went on a whole rant about a girl he don't even know, speaking on a relationship he don't even know nothing about, never interacted with them personally, and then also spoke on Travis Hunter, but then proceeds to say that all white women are a certain type of way and they only want you for your money. And then on top of that, then he gets into, oh, well, you need to get with black women because you get more for your money and they're thicker and all this other stuff. That's superficial. All the things you ranted about with Travis Hunter and his wife, and then you turn around and say something superficial. You are just as bad. If Travis Hunter and his wife are in fact like this, you are just as bad as they are. In my opinion. Wow. Okay. I gotta calm down for a second, y'all. Hold on.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Play your position. Just play your position, man.
I'm not in the mood. I just want to speak and I want to get out of here because I got better things to do with my time, but there's just certain things that are necessary.
Whew. I just want to speak and get things off my mind. Why couldn't he just play his position? Just play your position. Just don't speak on that anymore with people that you don't know personally. That's my advice. Let's see what you said, Dan. Judging a book by its cover is bad juju. It's really a sad thing to see, right? Yeah, it's really, really a sad thing to see. That really just upset me on levels I didn't think I would be upset about. But let's go play Beardman's drop. Shout out to you, Beardman. Always good to see you. Find your drop over here, because y'all, this one gets me in a good mood. Here we go. Shout out to you, Beer Man. And we also had Alex in the building. Let me go back up to what you said. Hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button, y'all. Shout out to you, Alex X. Always good to see you. Oh yeah, Eric Jordan, I gotta play your drop too. Let's see, who else? Alright, here we go. Let's go play Eric Jordan's drops. That's another one that'll get me in a good mood. Something funny is what I need right now. Let's see, where's it at? Still getting used to where all your drops are. I keep passing it, I think. Here we go.
Why are you fumbling my football?
My blockers were built.
Your blockers ain't got nothing to do with you holding the ball. Did your blockers fumble the football or did you fumble the football?
I did, sir.
All right, how many feet are in a mile? How many feet are in a mile? 5,280 feet. You pick this ball up, you run every one of them. You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me.
You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me. That's how I felt about that one guy. Man, if I was a coach, that's how I'd be yelling at him. You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me. Shout out to you, Eric Jordan. And you're also part of the CDL gang. So shout out to the CDL gang.
Hey, boy, do it to it.
All right. Back at it. Let's see. Did I cover all of everything in the Discord? Okay, I think I have one more video from Derek.
Dudes who don't get women.
I ain't watching that again, y'all. I could only handle so much. Like, I think he had my blood pressure up at the end.
15,347 career yards.
Okay, so this is athletes that never won, or wait, never got Hall of Fame.
Emmitt Smith had at the same age, more than Walter Payton, and he is not in the Hall of Fame. Not even close. He has been eligible for years and cannot get past the semifinalist round. Why? Because he never won a Super Bowl. Because he played for teams that did not win championships. Because the voters decided that longevity and sustained excellence do not matter as much as rings and highlights. And he is not alone. There are players who have 2 Super Bowl MVP awards and are not in camp. Players who rank in the top 10 all time at their position and have been passed over repeatedly. One player has been a semifinalist 12 times. 12. And every single year, the Hall of Fame tells him no. This is not about players who had good careers and fell short. This is about legends, all-pros, record holders, players whose resumes are so undeniable that the fact they are not in the Hall of Fame is an insult to everything the Hall is supposed to represent. Some of them played in small markets and got ignored. Some of them played positions that voters do not respect. And some of them are being held to standards that half the players already in tenure never met. This is the 10 NFL players who should absolutely, unquestionably, without any debate, be
Hold
in
up,
the pro
y'all.
football.
What is going on? I think I have some breaking news. Let me look into this. Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, NASCAR driver Kyle Busch has passed away. Yo, what the heck is going on? I'm so devastated. Man, what kind of day is this, y'all? Kyle Busch, a generational talent who rose to become a 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and one of sports' greatest drivers, died Thursday. He was 41. Busch's death, which was announced by the Busch family. Oh, man. So Thursday, he had been hospitalized with a severe illness. Doesn't say what it was. Y'all, I'm so... Let me play my CDT beats. Oh, man. That hits me kind of hard just because I know that he has a son, y'all. He has a son. I want to say he's a teenager now, probably. He has a son who races as well, really talented. And then he also has a daughter who is younger. who's now gonna have to grow up without her dad. She's probably like 4 or 5. And leaving behind his wife as well. Like, this just really is shocking to me. Plus his brother, his older brother, Kurt Busch, he retired a few years ago. I'm just so shocked by this news. It's a lot to process because you just had the news about Greg Biffle passing away, and now you have this with Kyle Busch. And Kyle Busch, y'all, I was really going for him. Anytime Chase Elliott, number 9, Napa Chevy, shout out Chase Elliott, but anytime Chase Elliott was out, of course I would go for Team Hendrick, but, you know, I was also going for Kyle Busch. Like, I wanted Kyle Busch to have a successful season. Kind of like, I would compare it to Aaron Rodgers, almost, because I know that he was near the end of retirement, and I wanted him to get another championship. This is really devastating news. I just was not expecting it. Let me see. What's up, Juice? Let's play your drop, Juice. Good to see you in the building. That'll lift my spirits. Yes, it's been a rough live stream so far. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It's been rough because I was not expecting that news. I'm trying to gather myself right now. Okay, we're playing Juice's drop.
Everyone wave goodbye to Juice Box! Literally wave! Do it!
Don't wave goodbye, wave hello. Do it.
Everyone wave! Okay. Guys.
Shout out to you, Juice Drops Entertainment. Y'all go subscribe to her channel. Let's go back to this, though. That's just sad. We are losing people left and right. Yeah. Wow, he died. Yeah, most of the NASCAR Cup drivers live in the Charlotte area. I like Danica Patrick. Yeah, so did Aaron Rodgers. Wow, y'all. I wonder if I'm gonna text my dad real quick because I don't even know if he knew. Texting my dad. I'm just so surprised by that news. I'm having a really difficult time processing that information. Y'all, he had a fundraiser, or not a fundraiser, a foundation for like families who struggle with fertility. Him and his wife struggled with fertility, and they got involved with donating money to these families who can't afford it but want a family. Oh man, like, it's just so surprising. I'm tripping. The NASCAR Hall of Fame is here in Charlotte. Yeah. Honda, why are you so surprised by this? NASCAR was invented in North Carolina. You do realize that, don't you? Like, you do realize NASCAR was invented in North Carolina, and it started with them running moonshine during the, what did they call it? Prohibition, the Prohibition period. So that's how NASCAR got started. So yeah, it's definitely big. Okay, well, I was just making sure you knew because you said I'm tripping. The NASCAR Hall of Fame is here in Charlotte. So I was just letting you know it's not really that surprising that you have that in Charlotte. And Kannapolis, y'all, I love Kannapolis because Dale Earnhardt's statue, shout out Dale Earnhardt, Dale Sr., he passed away in 2001 during the race, but he was from Kannapolis and he has a statue there, and I really like that area. But I'm just so surprised by the news of Kyle Busch. I'm trying to think of all the teams that he was on. I know for sure he was on Gibbs, Hendrick. Yeah, that's what it was. Hendrick. I think Hendrick was first, and then he went to Gibbs, and then he went to Richard Childress Racing. Oh, I just really am shocked for his son. Okay, I'm going to try to keep the show pushing, but that news just surprised me. Okay, let's go back to it. Again, this is the athletes, the football players that never reached Hall of Fame.
Get past the semifinals round. Why? Because he never won a Super Bowl. Because he played for teams that did not win championships. Because the voters decided that longevity and sustained excellence do not matter as much as rings and highlights. And he is not alone. There are players who have 2 Super Bowl MVP awards and are not in camp. Players who rank in the top 10 all time at their position and have been passed over repeatedly. One player has been a semifinalist 12 times. 12. And every single year, the Hall of Fame tells him no. This is not about players who had good careers and fell short. This is about legends, all-pros, record holders, players whose resumes are so undeniable that the fact they are not in the Hall of Fame is an insult to everything the Hall is supposed to represent. Some of them played in small markets and got ignored. Some of them played positions that voters do not respect. And some of them are being held to standards that half the players already in game never met. This is the 10 NFL players who should absolutely, unquestionably, without any debate, be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you want honest football content that is not afraid to call out the voters, subscribe right now. Let's go. Starting at number 10 with a name that should have been inducted the moment he became eligible, Terrell Suggs, Sizzle. One of the most dominant pass rushers of the 2000s and 2010s. Suggs played 17 seasons in the NFL, primarily with the Baltimore Ravens. He recorded 139 career sacks, 8th all-time in NFL history. 8th. He was selected to 7 Pro Bowls. He was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2011. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Ravens, and he is not in the Hall of Fame. Why? Because voters have decided that edge rushers who played in the 3-4 defense do not get the same credit as 4-3 defensive ends. That is it.
That is insane to me. What? You're discrediting them just because they played in a 3-4? What kind of BS is that?
Suggs has more sacks than Richard Dent, who is in the Hall of Fame. He has more sacks than Andre Tippett, who is in the Hall of Fame. He has more sacks than Ted Hendricks, who is in the Hall of Fame. But Suggs is not in because he played outside linebacker in a 3-4 scheme instead of defensive end in a 4-3. That is not a football reason. That is a technicality masquerading as logic. Terrell Suggs terrorized quarterbacks for nearly 2 decades. He was a leader on 2 championship defenses. He changed games with his ability to get to the passer, and the Hall of Fame has ignored him because they cannot figure out how to classify his position. That is embarrassing. Terrell Suggs is 8th all-time in sacks. He was a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He was Defensive Player of the Year, and the Hall of Fame has ignored him. That is not evaluation. That is negligence. Number 9, Marshall Yanda, the best guard of his generation and one of the most dominant offensive linemen of the 2010s. Yanda played 13 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens from 2007 to 2019.
Starting off strong with a lot of Ravens players.
Selected 8 Pro Bowls. He was named First Team All-Pro 6 times. 6. He won a Super Bowl with the Ravens in 2012. He anchored one of the most physical offensive lines in football for over a decade, and he is not in the Hall of Fame. Not even a semifinalist. Why? Because guards do not get respect. Because interior linemen are undervalued by voters who only pay attention to tackles.
And it goes the same for the Heisman Trophy. I really hope they start making changes with the Heisman Trophy because it really obviously benefits quarterbacks, running backs. And then, you know, you had a few years ago Devontae Smith winning the wide receiver or the Heisman Trophy as a wide receiver. But before Devontae Smith, it had been a long time. I'm talking like in the 90s. The last one to win it was Desmond Howard with Michigan. But he was the last one as a wide receiver to win the Heisman until Devontae Smith. It's the Heisman Trophy, it's been big on benefiting the quarterbacks and the running backs. And I would like for there to be some sort of change to start being able to implement other positions. Like, I wanted it for Will Anderson Jr. When Will Anderson Jr. was at Alabama, he's now with the Houston Texans, but when he was at Alabama, there was talks of him possibly being a, potential candidate. Obviously, that didn't happen, but it's the same with the Hall of Fame. I feel like maybe they need to do something different.
Skill position players. Larry Allen is in the Hall of Fame. Randall McDaniel is in the Hall of Fame. Bruce Matthews is in the Hall of Fame. All of them are guards, and Marshall Yonda was better than several guards already in Canton. He dominated at a level that very few interior linemen ever reach. 6 first-team All-Pros is a Hall of Fame resume by itself. Add a Super Bowl and 8 Pro Bowls, and it is not even a debate. Yonda's ability to pull on running plays, to anchor in pass protection, and to dominate elite defensive linemen made him the most complete guard of his era. Coaches around the league studied his technique. Opposing defensive coordinators had to account for him on every single play, and yet the Hall of Fame voters act like he does not exist. Marshall Yonda should be in the Hall of Fame. The fact that he is not is proof that voters do not watch offensive linemen play. Number 8, Frank Gore. 3rd all-time in NFL history in rushing yards, 15,347 career yards. Only Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton are ahead of him. Gore played 16 seasons from 2005 to 2020. He rushed for over 1,000 yards in 8 different seasons. He was selected to 5 Pro Bowls. He played until he was 37 years old and was still productive, and he has been eligible for the Hall of Fame since 2023. He was a semifinalist. He did not advance. Why? Because Frank Gore never won a Super Bowl. Because he never won an MVP. Because his peak was not as dominant as other running backs. But here is the problem with that logic. The Hall of Fame is called the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Peak Performance, not the Hall of Championships. If longevity and sustained excellence do not matter, then why is Curtis Martin in? Martin is 6th all-time in rushing yards. Gore is 3rd. If consistency does not matter, then why is Jerome Bettis in? Bettis averaged 3.9 yards per carry. Gore averaged 4.3. Frank Gore came into the league as a 3rd-round pick out of Miami. He had knee injuries in college that scared teams away. He was not supposed to last, and he played 16 seasons at the most punishing position in football. He carried the ball over 3,000 times and still averaged over 4 yards per carry. He was the model of durability, professionalism, and consistency, and the Hall of Fame voters are punishing him because he did not have highlight reel runs or championship rings. Frank Gore is 3rd all-time in one of the most difficult, most punishing positions in professional sports. He did it across 16 seasons and 5 different teams. He was durable, reliable, and elite for over a decade, and the Hall of Fame has told him no. That is not evaluation. That is bias against players who do not fit a narrative. Number 7.
I agree with that. It's a bias and just a narrative.
People are going to get mad. Eli Manning, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Do you remember on the Real Sports Lounge when I got into it? I can't remember who I got into a disagreement with now, but I got into a disagreement with someone, and I was defending Eli Manning being on that list and going through all of his accolades. And Jesse, shout out to Jesse, but Jesse, obviously he's a Giants fan, but he was right there with me with it. And then you had some people in the chat saying a few things about it as well.
The only player in NFL history with 2 Super Bowl MVP awards who is not in the Hall of Fame. Let me say that again. Eli Manning is the only player ever to win 2 Super Bowl MVPs and not be enshrined in Canton. Why? Because his regular season stats are not elite, because he threw more interceptions than touchdowns in several seasons, because he was inconsistent. All of that is true, but the Hall of Fame has never been just about stats. It has always been about moments, legacy,
about
impact,
moments, legacy, and impact. He beat Tom Brady. Wasn't he the one that put an end to the Patriots' undefeated season? If it's never been about stats, someone who put an end to Tom Brady's run at a Super Bowl, I feel like should be, up there to be a candidate for Hall of Fame. And I do think that Eli Manning will eventually be on there. Many people have discussed this and said he will eventually get the Hall of Fame. It's just a matter of when. But it's just disappointing that he has not reached that yet, considering what he has done.
Eli Manning's impact is undeniable. He beat the 18-0 New England Patriots in Super Bowl 42, ending the greatest...
See? I was just talking about this.
Season in NFL history. He beat them again in Super Bowl 46. He is the only quarterback to beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl. He played 16 seasons in the largest media market in the country and never missed a start due to injury until his final season. He threw for over 57,000 yards and 366 touchdowns. Manning's durability is legendary. He started 210 consecutive games, the 3rd longest streak by a quarterback in NFL history. He played through broken bones, separated shoulders, and countless hits that would have sidelined lesser players. And he did it all while carrying the pressure of being Peyton Manning's younger brother in the biggest media market in the world. Eli Manning is not a first-ballot Hall of Famer, but he is a Hall of Famer. 2 Super Bowl MVPs is a golden ticket. It always has been. And if the voters keep Eli Manning out, they are changing the standard just to punish him for not being Peyton. Number 6, Steve Tasker, the greatest special teams player in the history of the National Football League. And he is not in the Hall of Fame. Tasker played 13 seasons, from 1985 to 1997, primarily with the Buffalo Bills. He was selected to 7 Pro Bowls. As a special teamer, he was named first-team All-Pro 7 times. He made the NFL's All-Decade team for the 1990s. He revolutionized the gunner position on punt coverage and was so dominant that teams had to game plan specifically to avoid him. And the Hall of Fame has rejected him repeatedly. Why? Because special teams players do not belong in the Hall of Fame.
That's sad. I really
That is
like
the
special teams players.
argument. Special teams is not important enough, except it is. Games are decided by special teams every single week. Field position matters. Punt coverage matters. Kickoff returns matter. And Steve Tasker was the best to ever do it. Tasker did not just make tackles in special teams. He changed the way teams punted. Coaches would deliberately punt away from his side of the field because they knew if the ball went anywhere near him, the return was over before it started. He blocked kicks. He forced fumbles. He created turnovers. He was a game changer on a phase of football that most fans ignore. If the Hall of Fame is supposed to honor the greatest players at every position, then Steve Tasker belongs. If Ray Guy, a punter, is in the Hall of Fame, then the greatest gunner and special teams coverage player ever should be in too. The voters keep saying no because they do not respect the position. That is not fair. That is ignorance. Number 5, Willie Anderson. One of the most dominant offensive tackles of his era, and a player who has been ignored by the Hall of Fame for reasons that make no sense. Anderson played 13 seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals from 1996 to 2008. He was selected to 4 Pro Bowls. He was named first-team All-Pro 3 times. And according to advanced metrics, he allowed fewer sacks and pressures than multiple offensive tackles already in the Hall of Fame. Anderson made it to the final vote in 2020. He lost, and he has not been a finalist since. Why? Because he played for the Cincinnati Bengals, a small market team that was largely irrelevant during his career. Anderson never played in a Super Bowl. He never played on a championship together, and voters penalize him for that, even though he had zero control over the roster around him. Willie Anderson's film is Hall of Fame caliber. His stats are Hall of Fame caliber. His peer recognition is Hall of Fame caliber. Offensive line coaches around the league studied his footwork, his hand placement, and his ability to mirror elite pass rushers. He was the best tackle in football for multiple seasons, but because he played in Cincinnati and not New England or Dallas or Pittsburgh, he cannot get past the semifinalist round. That is not evaluation. That is prejudice.
It's
Number
a
4.
very dirty business when it comes to who gets into the Hall of Fame. That's all I'm going to say.
Fred Taylor, one of the most underrated running backs in NFL history, and a player whose exclusion from the Hall of Fame is purely about market size. Taylor played 13 seasons, from 1998 to 2010, primarily with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He rushed for 11,695 yards, 17th all-time in NFL history. He averaged 4.6 yards per carry over his entire career. 4.6. That's higher than Jerome Bettis, who was in the Hall of Fame. That's higher than Curtis Martin, who was in the Hall of Fame. That's higher than Franco Harris, who was in the Hall of Fame. Taylor was selected to 1 Pro Bowl. 1. Not because he wasn't good enough, because he played in Jacksonville, one of the smallest markets in the NFL, and nobody was paying attention. Fred Taylor has better career numbers than multiple running backs already in Canton. Taylor was a complete back. He could run between the tackles, he could catch passes out of the backfield, he could break long runs. He was consistent, durable, and dominant for over a decade. But because he played in New York or Dallas or Pittsburgh, he cannot get past the semifinalist round. That is not evaluation. That is prejudice. Number 3, Darren Woodson. 3-time Super Bowl champion. 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro, and he has been a Hall of Fame semifinalist 10 times.
Dang, he
10.
should definitely be in there.
Every single year, the voters look at his resume and say, not good enough. Why? What is missing? Woodson played 12 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys from 1992 to 2003. He was the heart of the Cowboys' defense during their 90s dynasty. He recorded 1,147 tackles, 23 interceptions, and was one of the most complete safeties of his era. He could cover, he could tackle, he could blitz. He did everything at an elite level, and the Hall of Fame keeps rejecting him. The only explanation is that voters do not think he was famous enough. He played in Dallas, one of
What
the biggest
kind
markets in
of
sports,
BS is that?
but he was overshadowed by Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Michael Irvin. So even though Woodson was just as important to those championships, he does not get the credit.
All because
Darren
of
Woodson
popularity.
for over 20 years, 10 times a semifinalist, and every year the answer is no. That is not fair. That is cruel. Number 2, Reggie Wayne. 10th all-time in receptions, 10th all-time in receiving yards, a 6-time Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion, and he is not in the Hall of Fame. Wayne played 14 seasons with the Indianapolis Colts from 2001 to 2014. He caught 1,070 passes for 14,345 yards and 82 touchdowns. He was Peyton Manning's most reliable target for over a decade. He was the number 2 receiver on one of the greatest offenses in NFL history. And after Marvin Harrison retired, Wayne became the number 1 and continued to dominate. Every other key player from the Peyton Manning Colts dynasty is in the Hall of Fame. Manning, Harrison, Edgerrin James, Jeff Saturday, but not Reggie Wayne. Why? Because voters decided that being the second best receiver on his own team for part of his career disqualifies him. That logic makes no sense. Wayne is 10th all-time in receiving yards. 10th. That alone should be enough. Add a Super Bowl, 6 Pro Bowls, and over a decade of sustained excellence, and it is not even a debate. Reggie Wayne belongs in the Hall of Fame. Period. Number 1, Torrey Holt. And this is the most egregious exclusion on the entire list.
Alright, so here we go.
Been a Hall of Fame semifinalist 12 times. 12! He played 11 seasons from 1999 to 2009, primarily with the St. Louis Rams. He caught 920 passes for 13,382 yards and 74 touchdowns. He was selected to 7 Pro Bowls. He was a Super Bowl champion as a key member of the greatest show on turf, and he is not in the Hall of Fame. The reason voters give is that Holt played in the same era as Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, and Marvin Harrison, and he was not as dominant as they were. But here's the truth. During his peak from 2000 to 2007, Torrey Holt was second only to Jerry Rice in receiving dominance. He had more receiving yards than any player in football during that stretch. More than Moss, more than Owens, more than Harrison. Holt was the most consistent, most productive receiver in the league for nearly a decade, and the Hall of Fame has told him no 12 times. Torrey Holt deserves to be in Canton, and the fact that he is not is the single greatest injustice in Hall of Fame voting history. 10 players, 10 Hall of Fame resumes, 10 men who have been ignored, overlooked, or rejected for reasons that do not hold up under scrutiny. The Hall of Fame is supposed to honor the best players in history, but these 10 prove that sometimes the voters get it wrong. Which player on this
There's
list?
a lot of biases that go into that. But shout out to Derek for that. He's the one who sent me that video. Let's go back to the main screen. I think I do have one more. It's from Poohman, but he said that he was going to catch the playback, so I'm going to save that for whenever he's here. So we're going to get into OKC versus the Spurs last night. So let's go ahead and get into it.
122 to 113. Stephon Castle has the most turnovers over any 2-game stretch in NBA postseason history. He has 20. We know how James Harden has turned the ball over in his playoff career. At no 2 games in James Harden's NBA career has he had this many turnovers in 2 consecutive games. Cade Cunningham is on that list with 17. LeBron James also has 17.
Those turnovers, man.
In NBA history, this man has 20 turnovers. And Joe, I'm going to turn it over to you. He's killing them with his turnovers. He's got to do a better job protecting the basketball. Take off, Joe.
Yeah, I agree. Castle definitely has to. I mean, he's averaging 10 turnovers a game, in the past couple games. But Uncle Ocho, we gotta take something into account here. The man ain't but 21 years old, bro. His second year in this NBA league, he's playing in the postseason in the Western Conference Finals.
I'm glad he turned the ball over. I'm glad he's a turnover machine, okay? I ain't mad at it. I wanted OKC to win. Man, I'm so tired of seeing everybody hate on OKC.
Yeah, he has to tighten that up. But outside of them damn turnovers, hey man,
they win the game, Joe.
Yeah. I'm saying they probably would if he don't turn over as much. But he playing some damn good ball. I like his aggressiveness that he has on offense and defense. Uncle Ocho, I mean, my God, he came through the lane off them 2 feet. When we talk about them 2-foot jumpers.
You let him get to the launch pad, it's over.
He put that boy in the rim. But all ain't bad for San Antonio. What is going to hurt him is, can Harper come back? How significant is this injury that Harper has? Because he's a big part of what they do. I know he's just a rookie, but hell, man, them 2 guys.
I need to look into that.
They gave OKC hell, in these first couple games.
I can offset that if I get De'Aaron Fox back. The question is J-Dub and the Jay Mitchell.
Yeah,
that is going to be the issue, Joe. Because you saw J-Dub got ice on the back. That ain't a good sign.
I think he done.
You saw a Jay Mitchell go out of the ball game. Now they're already thin. So now you dig deeper into your bench. If you get De'Aaron Fox back, you says, okay, I'm cool. I can weather the storm. I don't know without.
Do we know any injury updates on Harper? I'm looking at it, and it says that it just talks about what happened last night, that he left the game for an MRI, which we already knew. just says right leg injury. This was 4 hours ago. So as of 4 hours ago, just right leg injury is all they listed it as. I don't know what that means.
Mitchell. If that, I'm going to be able to wallet. And look, you got Caruso, and Caruso has played unbelievable. He's been out of his damn mind shooting the three-point ball, and we know he can play defense. But Joe, is that every time they get close, Castle turn it over. Look at points off a turnover that he created.
Yeah.
For the Thunder. He's got to do a better job of that. He's too good of a player. And then some of them are just, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And go ahead, Ocho. I'll go after you. Go ahead,
I
Ocho.
was going to say, those turnovers, especially in the first half, I mean, it was alarming at the rate he was turning the ball over. But I think at times it's overlooked as opposed to the way we mentioned James Harden and the fact that he turns the ball over so much, but he's giving you nothing on the offense.
I wonder how many, I don't know the stats, I wonder how many times he turned the ball over. But again, I wasn't mad at it. We needed that for OKC to win. And I ain't going to hold y'all. I had to catch the highlights this morning because I fell asleep. I fell asleep near the end of the game. I woke back up probably around, it was near the end of Cree's show. But yeah, I fell asleep for a little bit.
With Castle being so aggressive on both ends of the goddamn court, it's kind of overlooked. But in hindsight, if you look at it, you take some of those turnovers away. If you got 20 in the last two games, you take some of those away, even though you were able to win the last game. I think the game and the result is a little different if he handles it a little bit more careful with the ball in this game tonight.
There's no question about it. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I agree. But this is why I say in this Western Conference Finals, this is why I say, man, they going to beat each other up so damn bad that hell, whoever gets to the finals, you just got to hope they're healthy, bro. You know what I mean?
You just got to hope you come out with your players. You got to hope you come out alive. They're trying to make it out alive right now.
Look how many times your top guys from Shea to Wemby, Castle, these guys hit the floor so much, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm like, they out there competing at the highest level. I love it. But I just feel like the game is so intense, and you can see it, bro. Every play, every possession, you have to value it. Look at OKC bench. Look at OKC bench. Okay, Ocho. 17 from Caruso, 12 from McCain, 10 from Mitchell, 12 from Wallace. This is where you win the game, fellas. You need a lot. You don't need no one guy to be spectacular. You just need a bunch of guys to chip in and some way somehow try to get a win. But I thought the Thunder were a more desperate team tonight.
Yeah, two teams that don't like each other, and you got to think too. Add in the fact that they pin I don't want to get his initials wrong. Is it SGA? For some reason, I always want to say SVG, but I think it's SGA. But, they pin him and Wemby against each other. So, yeah, I'm just hoping OKC comes out on top.
From the jump.
Hey, when you think about this game, right?
Go ahead.
The way these
Okay, it is SGA. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Sometimes I just want to say SVG, and I don't know why.
Really aggressive. Everybody on the goddamn floor. They scrambling for every ball. They crashing the boards like crazy, like they like. Depending on what is the best boxing match you ever seen in life? The best. Just think about it. The best.
I'm really not into boxing like that. I like UFC.
Probably Mickey Ward.
I tell you, this is exactly that. Just in basketball terms, with the way they goddamn playing.
Yeah. Haymaker after haymaker.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We saw Corrales get up off the floor several times and come back and win. Yeah. I think the thing is, Joe, and I agree with you, because they playing so hard. You've got to play every possession as if it's your last.
Yeah.
Because you never know. And the thing that I love about
That's
each team,
the
and this
truth.
is why they
play every possession like it's your last. You only got one shot.
Going to be good for a long time. They can put out any fire.
Yeah.
They team up by 12. Next thing you know, we got a tie ball game.
Yeah.
One team goes down, they come right back. They're not going anywhere. If they value the basketball, let's just say for the sake of argument, one team had 21 turnovers, the other team had 9. If I just say for the sake of argument, I say, okay, 13. Instead of 21, you got 13 turnovers. Joe, they win this game.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They win this game. And it
I don't know why I shouldn't start to say it like that.
Think about it. It took a Herculean effort from Wemby to overcome the 10 turnovers.
Yeah.
So he played phenomenal. And he can just do things no other NBA player has ever been able to do. And I'm not so sure he should be able to do it. How the hell you lay the ball up on one side, miss it, and come back and dunk it on the damn other side? What the hell is that about? Come on, Joe. You ain't what you're supposed to be able to do.
Bro,
What the hell is that about? You said, I believe it's going to be the Thunder versus the Knicks. I ain't going to lie to you. I just did not want the Knicks in it. I don't want the Knicks in it. And it's because of Stephen A. Stephen A. Dan, I'm telling you, if the Knicks win, Stephen A. is going to hold that over the Cowboys' head. He's going to be like, well, the Knicks won. What have the Cowboys done? And I just don't want that. I just don't want that. I get that it's two different sports, but Stephen A. is going to hold that over Cowboys' heads. And I agree with Stephen A. a lot when it comes to the Cowboys. I just don't want him having anything to, weaponize the Cowboys. He already has enough ammo as it is. Let's not give him more. So I need the Knicks to lose.
That's why I say in real time, man, we watching a transcending player. Somebody who's going to change the trajectory of the game, bro. Like, a lot of people may not really see it right now, but of course it's kind of hard not to. I mean, he got so much with that length, bro. The way he shot, like he had 4 blocks tonight, but hell, we all know they driving in there. They ain't even looking at the damn rim. They like, hold on. Nah. Let me see who I can get the damn ball to. Because they don't want to even try to shoot over. I thought Hardenstein played great with his
some great minutes tonight.
Yeah. Hey, doing a lot of the veteran stuff, hooking him, holding him a little bit. A lot of stuff that the ref can't see. Ref can't see all that. You know what I mean? So the physicality that OKC came out with, I thought was tremendous, bro. But for Shea to really be effective, he's really gonna have to show why he's the MVP. I thought he played pretty good tonight. But Uncle Ocho, he's gotta take and he's gotta make tough shots, bro. He gonna have to take and make tough shots. They just got too much attention on him. Even when he started to make a couple, you see they started to double him. You know what I mean? Make him a passer. So he gotta take when he sees
Cleveland, y'all see that?
When he sees those little creases and those opportunities, he gotta take them, bro. And a lot of them shots gonna be tough, but he's capable of making them.
Hey, Joe, you said something very interesting. You say Hartenstein is doing some stuff. He's grabbing him, clutching him. And the refs can't see that. They can't see that in OKC. It's amazing how the eyes get clear once they get to San Antonio.
The biggest reason why people want OKC to lose right now, I feel like it's just because of what happened with the refs. I feel like that's the only reason why. Well, probably not the only reason. They also don't want a dynasty built. I want a dynasty built. I feel like that's great for sports. We need the next dynasty in the NBA. I don't know why people are against it.
It was nice tonight, Joe.
On the glass. You see how many second chance opportunities?
I was just going to say that. Not only the second chance opportunities, right, but he was so effective all during the game. He gave you 10, but what he meant to this game for them to win, it don't even show up in the box score. It don't even show up in the box score. So, I mean, the second chance points, him rebounding, defensively. I mean, dude, for someone that can't move, he can't move. Completely Hartenstein, he completely different from Wemby. Completely different. He played one hell of a goddamn game tonight, and he fits so perfect with what they want to do over there in OKC. It's pretty dope.
Okay, hey, listen. When you listen to him, he said in the first game, they just kind of let Wemby kind of roam around, do what he wanted. Hell, they kept a body on his ass. They kept chugging him tonight. I seen him complain to the ref a time or two. So that's when you know you're doing your damn job.
They was being physical out past the damn 3-point line, Joe. I saw Chet trying to lean on him. I saw Hartenstein trying to lean on him outside the damn 3-point line. They're not even letting him get inside the 3 line before they're physical in touching him up.
You got to.
When asked about the impact of moving Hartenstein on the Wemby, SGA answered, "I'm not sure if it was good, to be honest." Bill Simmons tweeted, I didn't think Hartenstein would be playable in this series. But if he's going to be allowed to maul and grab Wemby like on every play, he should play 48 minutes, which is hilarious. SGA, you're a 2-time MVP, and you know more basketball than I'll ever know. The only reason that you're not down 0-2 is because of what Hartenstein was able to do and keep Wemby off the glass and do all the things that he was able to do.
Only thing you can do with Wemby is out-muscle him. And that's what they're getting at here.
Gave you 10 points, and he gave you valuable minutes, because there are a lot of times when you got Caruso or you got Dort on him, he was going over there back, getting the rebound and putting it back in. So when you go back and look at this film, which I'm sure you would, and I look, the emotion of the game, and I don't know if you really heard the question of what she was asking, but the reason why you're not down 0-2, you played extremely well, but Hartenstein did an unbelievable job. If you can believe 21 and 17 with 4 blocks is doing an unbelievable job. It is, considering that he had 41
They
and 24
gotta keep
and
doing
4
that too.
blocks the other night. Think about what you held him to.
Yeah.
20 points fewer and 7 fewer rebounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, I like that small lineup that OKC plays where Wemby has to be. See, when Hartenstein in there, he ain't really got to guard Hartenstein. I mean, yeah, he made some floaters. I like his touch that he got around the basket. Okay, Ocho. But for the most part, he's still able to kind of linger around and be that free safety, you know what I mean, to where I could just kind of seek everybody out. But when you put Caruso in and they had to stretch that floor and he got to guard a shooter, the game changes tremendously, bro. But like you say, you have to do your work early with Wemby, bro. Like, I'm talking about catch him chugging, make him fight you all the way down to that low block. Because, see, from 10 feet and in, it's always going to be his advantage. But if you catch him 20, 17 feet outside, man, you got a great chance. You just got to hope he missed. But you let him catch it within 10 feet of that basket, shit, your ass in trouble.
Well, and the problem is, they're going to set all this stuff that they were doing that they didn't call tonight. Yeah. They're going to turn that into the league, Joe. Now, you know the officials in the next game, the NBA is going to tell them to be watching this.
Yeah.
And so the question is, if they call it, now it's going to be a different ball game. Plus, he's able to set more solid screens than Chet. Chet played okay tonight. They did a great job, and Chet got a couple of points late in the ball game that kept him in front. But I thought the turnovers, because they were down 1, and then all of a sudden they go
I love
2,
them
3
turnovers, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I really like the turnovers from them, from the Spurs. I really like the turnovers. I was here for that. I ain't complaining one bit. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep them turnovers coming.
Back, and they'd hit back-to-back threes. It wasn't like a 3 and a 2. They'd hit back-to-back threes and stretch it and make it a 3-possession game.
It was beautiful.
And give OKC credit, because now you see why they have the league's 2-time MVP. You see why they're going for a back-to-back title, because they didn't flinch at adversity. Had a big old lead. Next thing you know, they cut that thing down in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
The Spurs were right back in the hip pocket.
Let them build a dynasty. We need a new dynasty in the NBA. That's what makes sports great. I know people hate on it. I know people hate the Chiefs and the NFL. Trust me. I mean, I'm sick of it too. But it is what makes sports great, is when you find someone who can mastermind how, whatever league they're playing in operates, and they're able to achieve the ultimate goal. It makes fans either love it or hate it, and a ton of analysts to continue to talk about it. There's so much attraction to it.
About it too, Unc, is obviously basketball is a game of runs, and you see the Spurs being able to get back into the game even when the goddamn Thunder had a goddamn lead. Unc, look at the goddamn the turnover difference. 21-9.
Yeah.
21-9, and you're still making runs.
That's the game.
You're still making runs to get back in the game. Just imagine if you were able to protect the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that if they hadn't turned the ball over that they would have won. I ain't going to say that. I ain't going to give the Spurs that. I'm going to say OKC won because they were the better team yesterday. I mean, they capitalized off of moments and made it happen. One more to go, y'all. One more. Let's hope they get it. But moving on, we discussed the Discord. We discussed OKC versus Spurs, and now we are going into some Eagles updates.
News, it seems as if Nolan Smith Jr., the Eagles' edge rusher, was arrested for allegedly speeding and reckless driving at per the Georgia Gazette. He was booked in Twiggs County after repeatedly driving 137 miles per hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone. I mean, yeah, that shocking right here.
I'm interested your thoughts on Nolan Smith, because some people are saying he's been a disappointment, and others are, speaking positive on him. But for the most part, I've seen a lot of people disappointed in his performance. They say that he really hasn't done much since the Super Bowl, and that, what else? What else did I see? Obviously, this getting a ticket for speeding. Actually, it wasn't just a ticket, it was jail.
Another bad look for Georgia football, though, too. The former Georgia Bulldog. It's tough. Any reaction to this breaking news? It seems to be driving crazy.
Young and dumb. Young and dumb.
What's the fastest you've ever driven?
119.
I don't think I've ever been over 70. I've never sped over 70.
I might, because when you get a fast car and you young, you going to push it at
Not
least
me.
once.
Not me, y'all. I ain't never been like that. I'm a grandma driver.
I think I probably have gone about 120, about 119, 120. And I look back on it like, boy, I had to be dumb as hell to do some stupid shit like that. Because you only get one life. And going 137 is crazy. But a lot of guys have been there. Once you get on the freeway or something, and ain't no cars on the freeway, when you start going fast and that shit kind of go, you get off the ground, you be like, oh, let me slow down.
Can I be honest with you? And I am in no way excusing Nolan Smith for driving this fast or any Georgia football player. Y'all ever been on that drive from Atlanta to Athens? Most speedable roads in the country, bro. I'm talking about just
now, they do say that Georgia is, pretty high speeds in Georgia. Actually, they don't just say it. I know they do. They have higher rates of speed that you can drive, and people still speed way past that.
Open, a little bit hilly. You got these long straights. It's just,
and it's dark on the freeway.
And it's dark on the freeway. But
yeah.
For whatever reason, I think people have this false sense of security. Maybe it's all them beautiful Georgia pines lining the highway and whatnot. Why does this keep happening? I don't understand.
It's probably what you just said.
But here's my thing is, if you're Nolan Smith, you don't have this luxury. And not from a football perspective. Nolan Smith was on the Georgia roster right after he left, someone fatally died in a car accident. It was one of his teammates, if I'm not mistaken.
Devin Willock, RIP.
One of his teammates died?
Devin Willock, the offensive lineman,
Yeah, former teammate died speeding, if I'm not mistaken.
So you know what it is, man.
You just don't.
You know what it is? We never think.
It could be us.
It's going to be me.
Yeah.
Until it is me, and now you have your loved ones mourning you. We think we're invincible. We don't think
Keep in mind, sometimes people just don't pay attention to their speed. They think they're going slower than what they're actually going, and then by the time they see it, it's too late.
This ain't happening to me. I'm going to drive on the freeway. I'm going to weave in and out of lanes. I can really drive. And then when it happens to you, hopefully it's not fatal. But when you young and you just don't feel like it's going to be you. And when it is you, Hopefully it's not fatal. That's your warning. That's your warning. It wasn't fatal. That's your warning. You're not going to get another warning.
To me, though, it's just so stupid.
This is his warning.
But it's also the brain isn't fully mature at whatever age he is, because it's just stupid. T like
Oh yeah,
now,
I'm saying that now. Yeah, when you see you ain't accidentally going 120. That's a whole different story. To reach that high rate of speed, that was no accident whatsoever. But I'm just saying, like, for some people who, slightly go over the speed limit, but I'm not talking like this big of a jump, like that big of a gap. I mean, twice the speed limit. This is why you go to jail for those reasons, because you're endangering not only yourself but other people. And you can easily, what if like a flat tire, this is my fear, is like flat tire situation or, something crazy happening and like you're flipping your car, turning it over, all of that. Like, yeah. But I'm not saying what he did that was no accident.
we both did it. I'd be scared to. That's why I say it's young and dumb. I'd be scared to drive fast now.
You be driving fast because you're young.
Nah, I mean, I probably hit 100 like one time, and it was when I was in Arkansas driving back from Memphis one time.
But your car can't go that fast. It's
It's
a lot of weight in it.
Yeah, that suspension on that Ford Taurus ain't holding up.
It was a Ford Fusion, by the way. And it was my first car.
I would love Derek, and let's see, who would I put to roast Ocho? It'd be Derek, Ty Pro, definitely first Ty Pro, Derek, and agree to disagree. I would put them three up against Ocho to roast him because, man.
Next week.
I was 100 this weekend.
Oh, you got the Tessie on the way?
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't.
But that I ain't going no faster than that. And I wasn't at 100. I was like 97.
Yeah.
97. I'm not going faster than
that. But 137.
That's because to me, at that rate, if one thing happens, it's over.
If
the wheel does anything.
If you hit a rock, thing is like if you're driving by people though too. Have we not learned from the Henry Ruggs situation that
I didn't like that he brought up Ruggs. I don't like that. That was a whole different situation. An entire different situation. And y'all know my thoughts on that. I really hope Ruggs gets another shot. I do. I mean, is it likely to happen? Probably not. But I really hope he does get another shot because we're looking at somebody that had a completely clean record up until that point. And it's sad to see. And I just have to think that if the roles were reversed, if it had been that person's daughter who, did what Henry Ruggs did, they would want her to have another opportunity at life, right? So I just feel like, two wrongs don't make a right, and I would like to see Ruggs get another opportunity.
On the road. That's the reason why I don't do it. Never have. Like never have been out there speeding and whatnot. Also, my mom worked with first responders and whatnot. So I'm hearing, since I'm a kid, about stories about, like, whenever I was learning how to drive, it was
said
stories.
That, I agree with him. I would love that. I talk about all the time. I talk about the Cowboys love to get them a player who has some sort of record, right? I feel like Ruggs would be one that wouldn't be a bad option because he never had an incident. Even Nick Saban spoke on this. Never had any trouble out of Ruggs. Only, like, he did what he was supposed to do, when he was supposed to do it, and how it was supposed to be done. This was someone, everyone spoke on how he was as not only an athlete, but also his character off the field. Never was something like that that he would have done. Like, no trouble out of him.
About how
Cops had to come home and couldn't eat for days because of what they had to see on the road after accidents. People that were drunk, driving fast in the intersections. Bro, there's other people's lives at risk. And I understand you might see an open road and like highway and whatnot, and like sure that might have been the situation, but I just don't do it because one, I'm not gonna put myself at risk. I'm not gonna hurt my mom by possibly having her lose her son. I don't want to put anyone in that situation.
You
And
don't
for
want to
this,
put yourself
I
in
want
that
to put myself in that situation.
Hell no.
And also, this is we got to talk about the bigger picture because this has been an ongoing joke online for years. Nolan Smith, Georgia football player, former Georgia football player. This happened in Georgia. I talked about the roads and whatnot. Last week, another DB from Georgia ended up getting arrested, 2 felony charges, speeding over 100 miles an hour and whatnot. This is all happening continuously. It seems like every 2 or 3 months.
It's been a big problem at Georgia with the speeding issue.
Why you
It's
say
Kirby.
that? Why you say that?
Me and Trey got kids. Let my oldest kids do something over and over and over. That's going to be the warning for everybody.
Yeah.
That's going to be the warning for everybody. Kirby Smart should have been held a meeting. Hey, I'm not playing with none of
What
y'all.
if he did? What if he did hold a meeting? I mean, we don't know.
Anybody on this team get pulled over for speeding excessively, you will immediately be kicked off the team today.
I don't know if I would go that far. Maybe benched, but to completely kick them off the team for excessive speeding, that don't fit the crime to me, in my opinion. Just completely kicking them off the team. If they were like drinking and driving and, I would understand, okay, yeah, I would get it. But we're talking about someone who just, had excessive speeding. They got jailed. Why not just bench them? Now, if they repeated the behavior, if it happened again, sure, you could kick them off the team. But for the first time, a first-time offense, if it was their first-time offense of speeding, excessive speeding, you could just bench them. Kicking them off the team, I think, is a little extreme. Unless they were to repeat the behavior.
Immediately. No explanation, no questions asked. You are off the team. You done. No, done.
When does responsibility though fall on children? For those watching the show that y'all got kids, y'all can comment as well.
Of course it falls on them.
When does it fall on the kid versus the supervisor? Because Nolan Smith is grown at this point. I think he's going into his contract year, Kieran. He's only in year 4.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a first round pick, so he might have they have the option for a 5th year. I think he's going into year 4. At what point is it like?
They don't fall on Nolan at all, because when you talk to Georgia football team,
he's going to year 4.
But at some point, like if I'm Eagles, I want to get an explanation. Like, are you not aware of what's going on at your school? Do you not see what is happening at your alma mater? You don't see this. The league ain't gonna do nothing to Nolan Smith. It's a ticket, right? I'm the University of Georgia.
That's what I'm saying. It's a ticket. And then he's talking about kicking the player off the team completely. I don't agree with that. I think a first-time offense, you should just bench them for like a few games. But if they repeated the behavior, then yeah, kick them off the team.
Kirby Smart can stop this. It's once he starts putting dudes off the team, and it has to be a good player. Once a good player gets put off the team,
You
for
can't
speed,
do that nowadays in college football. You got NIL, transfer portal. Another team would jump at the opportunity to get their hands on someone from Georgia. He would get another chance. He would get another opportunity and start immediately. So, I don't understand what Kirby could do right now. There's just too much chaos in college football right now. Like, Kirby Smart needs those players. Even if he was to bench them, even if he was to bench these players, they could turn around and enter the transfer portal. So what is this? I don't know what that solves.
everybody else gonna follow suit because we know. Oh, you did that to him? He ain't playing.
Will it impact? So Nolan Smith to me has had an underwhelming Eagles tenure for a first-round pick. Had a really good Super Bowl run the year they won the Super Bowl, but he was starting on punt. First-round picks aren't supposed to be starting on punt. He was busting punt coverages during that Super Bowl run tenure. He ends up having a really good Super Bowl run.
See, didn't that happen with Cam Newton? Got kicked out of Florida and then went to Auburn and won. Yeah, well, yeah. So Cam Newton, he was in trouble for like taking bribes or something like that, or I can't remember if it was theft or if it was something. I just know that he got gifts. It was something to do with computers, something like that. Turned around, transferred to Florida. I don't believe Cam Newton was starting anyways. Cam Newton wasn't even starting because I think that was when they had Tim Tebow, and then he turned around, went to Auburn, and then, won the championship there. So, yeah. Okay, he stole the laptops. That's what it was. I knew it had something to do with the computers. But, yeah, you got to think, too, that was a different time. Like, Cam Newton is honestly lucky. He was in a situation where he was honestly lucky that he was able to transfer to Auburn. Because there was more rules. You didn't have NIL in college football when Cam Newton played. You didn't have the transfer portal wide open. If guys were to transfer, depending on, I can't even remember the rules now, but the rules on transfer portal, there was a reason why it was closed, and if you transferred, you had to wait. You had to sit out. And it just worked out perfectly for Cam Newton's situation. He was able to transfer and start and, all of that. But, oh man, he was like a rare case where it worked out for him. But you got to think, nowadays, the transfer portal is wide open. These guys can transfer and not have any rules put on them. No consequences. So if a Georgia player was to get in trouble and Kirby Smart was to either bench them or kick them off the team, they're going to turn around and go to another team. So what would be the point? I would agree with benching them, but kicking them off the team, that's a little extreme. But even, like I said, even benching them is risky nowadays because athlete could look at that and be like, well, you're hurting my stats. I've got to be able to play. I can just transfer, go to another team that'll take me and start right away and pick up where I left off like nothing ever happened.
I don't think the Eagles have picked up his fifth-year option yet. If you're Howie Roseman, does this impact Nolan Smith's future in Philly at all to you?
Not if he can get me 8 to 10, 11, 12 sacks. He's speeding.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but guys have done a lot worse.
Yeah.
Well, then why were you saying that they need to be kicked off the team?
I need you to be careful, man. I need you to be smart. But if you get out on that field and get me 8 to 11, 12 sacks, you're going to be Eagle.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know you go to jail.
Oh, yeah, bro. If you're going...
Because it's excessive.
Bro, excessive, yeah.
Reckless driving.
He's damn near twice the
That's
speed
crazy. I also
limit.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
you can't...
But moving on, because A.J. Brown, there's talks of him going to the Rams.
Wouldn't be surprised if the Rams engage in trade talks with A.J. Brown again. They were extremely close to a deal before, apparently, and Puka's offseason makes it likely they will try to work out a deal again. Howie and Snead will definitely talk again. Hashtag Eagles. No clue who Garofalo is, but...
Reporter.
Oh, okay. Ben, yeah, that's tough.
Garofalo.
Garofalo. Another blunder. Thank you, guys. Just set me up to fail.
Reading
fellas, would A.J. Brown make the Rams Super Bowl favorites?
Well, T, let me ask you this first. Would A.J. Brown make sense for the Rams?
If you're unsure about Puka, yeah. A.J. Brown's a good player. You can never have too many good players. But if you bring in A.J. Brown, somebody is going to be the third receiver between AJ.
And I can't remember who reported on it, but there was an article when I just searched. You can just type in AJ Brown Rams, and there was an article that popped up, and it said the top teams that could fight the Patriots on getting AJ Brown. So the Rams is obviously top of the list.
Devontae and Puka. And none of those three have ever been the third receiver. So from that perspective, somebody gonna be upset. How do you navigate that in the locker room? Like McVay can be the best leader ever. There's nothing you can say that can make one of those dudes feel like they should be the third receiver. So that will be I don't think you can bring AJ Brown
And
in.
see, this is what you're getting into, Erroneous. See, who gonna be the slot? Devontae? This is what you're battling here, is what wide receiver is willing to take that? I mean, maybe Devontae. Devontae's really the only one.
Keep Puka and Devontae on the team.
Would you ever move Puka? Because in theory, AJ would be cheaper than what you're going to have to pay Puka.
Yes. Now, if Puka got his shit together, no, I'm not. Because he's young. But because in an organization, they know a lot of shit that's going on that we don't hear about, that we never get. But if there's still some things out there that we're not hearing, you have to. Because 100% he's cheaper. And yeah, AJ Brown is going to play 3-4 more years. I ain't worried about anything after 3 or 4 more. I'm worried about now. I'm worried about now. Like, everybody's worried about the future. I might not even make it to the future. I got to worry about now. And so, absolutely.
That's well said. I don't know if AJ makes sense for the Rams, but if AJ goes to the Rams, this is a team that now you start thinking about, can they go 17-0? Can they go 18-0? Can they go 19-0? You get AJ Brown to the Rams. One, the defense is only getting better. Jared Verse only getting better. Young only getting better. They brought in Trent McDuffie. They showed up the weaknesses in the secondary, so the secondary is only going to get better. Offensively, the running back room it's been consistent. You know what I mean? It hasn't been elite, but it's been consistent. And then tight ends, stacked there. Matthew Stafford playing at the highest level he's ever played at, and he still has probably 2 to 3 more great years left in him. You bring AJ Brown to the Rams have to
I don't know if I agree with that. 2 to 3 more great years with Matthew Stafford's injury list. I mean, there was questions about him retiring this past season, and it wasn't until he accepted the MVP that he announced that he was returning. But everyone was questioning him staying, and that's why the Rams ultimately got Ty Simpson, because they're banking on the future. They know that Matthew Stafford doesn't have that many more years left. So for Acho to say 3 to 5, that's a little extreme to me. Maybe 3, but 5?
Like, how do you lose? I don't even know if you lose. It's near impossible to lose at that point.
So what would be, because we all assume AJ's going to New England.
Yep.
Can we just, what's the compensation then?
If the Rams were to give up a first, that's the only way I believe Howie would trade AJ to a team that's been on his heels for the last 2 years, is for a first. Howie wouldn't trade within the conference for anything less than a first-round pick. It's too risky.
Because you would assume that's going to be your main.
I just don't know how the talks of the Rams even getting AJ Brown became a discussion. I don't know how that came about, because I'm just questioning what's the issue. Why do they feel like they need AJ Brown? I just can't. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the Rams being so desperate for AJ Brown. The one team that I think is desperate and going to do whatever it takes is the Patriots. I still think he goes to the Patriots.
Competition. Now you got to face him.
Absolutely. Now, if you give up a first, look, go ahead, AJ.
I don't know if I'm doing that if I'm the Rams. I don't know. But we would all give up a first to win the Super Bowl, so Correct. It's kind of crazy that I say that.
And they don't care about picks.
Give up a first for what? The 27, 20, or possibly 32nd pick next year?
No, that's the one thing with the Rams. They don't care. They'll let it fly. They'll do whatever it takes. If they think they have a shot at the Super Bowl, they're going to make moves. So I'll give them that.
That's what I'm saying.
If I'm the Rams, that's not even a first round pick. I'm doing it. Yeah, the more I think, I'm doing it because without AJ Brown, it's gonna be pick 27.
Correct.
And after.
Without AJ Brown, they're, in my opinion, still the Super Bowl favorites going into next season. So it doesn't I think, sure it up. It doesn't matter.
I wonder how much when Garofalo, when he gets these leaks, how much truth is it to it? The percent of it,
We knew they were interested in AJ because I'm sure you had heard this. I had heard this about a month and a half ago.
AJ just got married. Right around where you was just at today.
During all the Puka drama, I knew they were interested in AJ. But Matthew Stafford struggled getting Devontae Adams the ball last year prior to Puka getting hurt. The Jacksonville game where DA I think had 3 or 4 touchdowns. Before that, Stafford didn't even know how to feed them both. I don't think Stafford will be able to adequately feed 3 wide receivers, especially. McVay likes a balanced offense. He's running the ball 23 times a game. Mm-hmm. And so he's only passing the ball 28 times a game.
2 receivers are going to get, if you think Cooper and Puka were eating, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods were eating. Mm-hmm. He wants 2 receivers because it's one game you go crazy.
Yep.
I get a few catches and yards. The next game I go crazy. You get a few catches and yards. Next game we both go crazy. You can't even get mad in his offense because if you don't get it this game, it's coming the next game.
Yep.
All 3 though. Woo.
What makes more sense for AJ, New England or the Rams?
Oh, the Rams. You're playing with Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. Every receiver that is played in that offense, they do very well.
Extremely
if I'm AJ Brown, I know if I get to the Rams, I'm gonna have an All-Pro year and I can hopefully start my get back to the Hall of Fame career back.
Let me push back. AJ goes to the Rams. He's the 4th best player on the offense. AJ goes to the Patriots. He's the best player on the roster.
Who are the players ahead of him on offense?
Puka, Stafford, DA. So I would say if you
really
go to the Rams,
so? You think he's a?
I think as far as pedigree, historically, DA and
Oh
Stafford.
man, Ocho.
In that offense, but you're talking talent. At worst, he's 3. At worst.
Stafford, DA, or Stafford, Puka?
It's Stafford, AJ, DA.
Really? You put AJ Brown and Devontae Adams conversations.
Yeah.
But Devontae's a Hall of Famer walking.
Yeah, but Devontae has played with a great quarterback almost the entirety of his career, with the exception of when he
Raiders for
when
2
he went.
years.
Outside of that, he done played with arguably the greatest, the bulk of his career in his prime.
That's the truth. Now I will say this. So you had whenever Devontae Adams was with the Raiders under Derek Carr as quarterback, obviously that was rough. Then he went to the Jets. And we all know what happened with Aaron Rodgers at the Jets. So, I mean, I would argue there was probably 2 seasons that were difficult for him. But obviously he's still played under great quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers the longest at Green Bay. And then I mentioned the other situations. And now, obviously, it's been decent with the Rams.
And so, I don't put Puka up there yet because if he's there, they're not even talking about bringing him in. Mm-hmm. If they felt that way, they're not
let's
talking
hear it.
about
What's the
bringing
breaking
AJ Brown.
news, Dan? Oh, man. I'm nervous. What's the breaking news? I'm curious. I'm about to just Google it. If you don't tap fast enough, I might just Google it. Because now you piqued my interest. What's the breaking news? Did Stephon Diggs get signed too? Or are we talking Matthew Stafford 1-year deal? Okay. Now there's talks. I see talks about Stephon Diggs possibly going to the Rams. I think Stephon and his brother Trayvon end up at the Commanders. I think that's where they end up. but we'll see. Let's see. Let me look at this 1 year deal. Well, I can just look at your message. Matthew Stafford agreed to a 1 year extension, $55 million. Yeah, so there we go. And I think, like I said, I could see 3 years out of him, but 5, when Ocho said 5, I was like, that's a little extreme. That's pushing it. I feel like it's just going to be kind of similar to Aaron Rodgers, where it's just 1 year deals, and I think it's fair. Considering everything with Matthew Stafford, I think it's fair. I think it's great for Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson having that time to develop and grow under Matthew Stafford, that's going to be great.
And if they felt like, man, we can't afford to piss Puka off, they don't care, because they know if they bring in A.J. Brown, it ain't going to be a
You
fall
would
off.
say, hold on. I don't know if I agree with this. You would say AJ's as talented as Devontae Adams?
The quickness, no. Playmaking ability, yes. And Devontae's older.
I'm saying peak powers.
No. Devontae is just, bro, his mind is so calm in press coverage that he's able to work any and every release that he wants.
True.
We're just talking about
I mean, the years of experience Devontae Adams has.
this today in training is, we'll get press coverage. You look at, oh, I got a chance to get this ball because of my route. Okay, I'm going to do this release. And it doesn't work. And then you go back and watch film, and you're like, oh, my God, I didn't do nowhere near what I thought I said I was going to do.
Yeah, I agree with that, Erroneous. If we're just talking about age and making those comparisons, you would have to give it to AJ, right? But if we're just talking about overall and his wide receiver IQ for Devontae Adams and everything he understands, plus his talent, because he is one of the best route runners. I mean, if we're talking like for history reasons, I would give it to Devontae Adams, of course. But if we're talking about right now, I would say AJ, being young, still, wanting to reach and strive for these stats. You got to give it to AJ.
It's because you panic. Devontae Adams never panics. His mind is so calm when it's a stressful situation. Like if he was a sniper, he never gets nervous. His hand never starts to shake. He stays calm in the midst of chaos and press coverage. And so that to me is a superpower that he has that many people don't have. It don't matter who's the corner in front of him.
And I love Devontae Adams. I'm biased. I'm a little bit biased, y'all, but I love Devontae Adams. Okay, moving on. Let's see. On paper, could be a good trio. AJ, Devontae, and Puka work. See, here's the only issue, though. It just goes on to it would be a wide receiver competition, because you can't have all of them, and then all of them feel like they deserve a top spot. So where do you place all of them? That's my issue with it. Is like, where does all of these pieces fit? So, I don't know. All right, moving on to the Bengals, y'all. Speakeasy was back at it again, talking about the Bengals, and this time Ocho is changing his tune when it comes to the Bengals.
Some season expectations. I'll let you guys take a listen at what he had to say.
I mean, you saw what this roster looked like in 2021, albeit you were young, but that was a Super Bowl roster. Do you think what you see right now from this organization and in that locker room is a Super Bowl roster?
I think this is the most talented roster that we've had since I've been here.
What do you say? 48.
Doable.
Most talented roster they've had since he's been there, and he also said throwing the franchise record 48 touchdown passes in the season is is doable. Fellas, is it Super Bowl or bust this year for Joe Burrow and the Bengals? Because expectations seem to be ramping up.
Let me just go ahead and say, we talked about it yesterday, but according to the reports, the early predictions, and I showed y'all what Adam Schefter had to say. You have Rams. Actually, the Rams are top contenders for the potential Super Bowl. Shocking, I guess, for a lot of people. But that's the ones that I had even said. I said, I think the Rams. And sure enough, it comes out that I think it was DraftKings, had early predictions for the Rams. Second on the list is the Bengals. I also mentioned the Bengals. I said they made a lot of temporary great choices to fix things right now for Joe Burrow, to keep him satisfied, to give them their best shot at having a decent season, right? If everyone stays healthy. And then you have Joe Burrow speaking on the team, and I don't think he's saying that lightly, because he said that this is one of the most talented rosters. I take his word for it, because this guy was at LSU, undefeated national championship. Then you had him have a potential at reaching the Super Bowl. They lost, obviously, to the Rams. But he knows what talent is, right? He knows the talented roster that he can work with. He's not going to say these words lightly. I take his word for it on this.
Before we hear the biased take from the Bengals legend to my right, can I speak some truth?
Uh-oh.
First off, I think it's offensive and inaccurate to say this is the most talented roster Joe Burrow's had since he's been there.
Just wait, y'all. He's going to change his tune near the end.
Joe Mixon is criminally underrated. So with all due respect, the Bengals have not had a running back like Joe Mixon since Joe Mixon left, number one. Number two, Tyler Boyd is a 1,000-yard talent, and he was the third wide receiver on that Bengals offense, along with T. Higgins, along with Jamar Chase. Number four, if I skip three, Tyler Eifert was also like that when he was healthy. So for Joe Burrow to either omit, overlook, or forget about Joe Mixon, Boyd, and a healthy Eifert, to me,
he's such a fool saying that Joe Burrow overlooks, the list that he gave. He's the one working with this team. I think he knows better than anybody what he's dealing with. What are you talking about?
Disrespectful to the guys that came before him. Now, that's not counting Trey Hendrickson defensively. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Bates was there. Wasn't Bates in since Bates was in Cincinnati? So this just also isn't the most talented Bengals roster that Joe Burrow's played with, but you know the Bengals roster better
How
than
do you want
me.
to say
But
it's
I
not
know
the most talented? Like, have you seen them? We have yet to see what they're working with. So how are you gonna say that's not talented?
I know that Bengals offense, and that one in 2022 was better than this one right now.
The reason I'm siding with him because he's the one that's playing the game. He's a better player now than he was
That's
back then.
what I'm saying. I think he knows what he's talking about.
Okay.
Jamar Chase is a better player now than he was back
I
then.
hear that take. I hear that.
T. Higgins is a better player now than he was back then.
I hear that
So
take.
although Joe Mixon and Tyler Boyd and Tyler Eifert aren't on the team, our main players are better players now
I hear that.
than they were back then. And then now you go to the defensive side of the ball.
Ocho's saying he hears it, but I don't know if he really does. I mean, near the end, I think he does, but
Our best D tackle was DJ Reader.
Mm-hmm.
With all due respect, Dexter Lawrence and Jonathan Allen, we would both say, or we all four would say, both of those guys are better than DJ Reader.
Of course.
So just those two guys up the middle, Samboye Mafe, speed and athleticism on the edge. I believe those three are going to teach Myles Murphy, Shamar, Chris Jenkins. I played against his daddy. Those three are going to teach those three how to be professionals, how to really get the most out of the talent that you have. And so on the back end, DJ Turner was one of the highest rated corners in the National Football League last year that nobody talked about. And so Jordan Battle's going to be way better this year than he was last year. I feel like
Wait,
Joe Burrow's
Jordan Battle. He played for Alabama. Hold on. I didn't realize that the Bengals, hold on. I didn't realize that the Bengals had Jordan. How did I not know? How did I not realize that? I'm trying to think. I had to have known that, y'all. As much as I watched the Bengals, I had to have known that they had Jordan Battle. But shout out Jordan Battle, because Roll Tide.
right. Now, when you make these type of statements, you got to back it up.
Correct.
You can't say this is the most talented roster I've ever been on, and now we not at worst in the AFC Championship game. We not competing to win the division. So when you say these things, just know now expectations are through the roof.
And this is just, like, obviously Joe Burrow's not clueless about that. Like, he's just saying what he's working with right now, that's how he feels. Could it change? Everything's subject to change. Things change every second of every day. I don't think Joe Burrow said that thinking that it's going to remain the same and it's going to stay that way. Will there be obstacles? Probably. But, I mean, Joe Burrow has the right to say, I think, this is the most talented roster. That's not speaking on the fact that, like, he could change his mind later on.
Let me correct myself. He missed Eifert by a year, if I'm not mistaken. It was CJ Uzoma who was there at tight end when that offense was popping early on in Burrow's career. I mean, it can't be Super Bowl or bust because they're not going to the Super Bowl. Having Super Bowl expectations for this Cincinnati Bengals team is wildly unrealistic.
Man, y'all gotta say that.
I don't think so.
It's wildly.
What would you have said?
Y'all gotta say that,
Hold on. What would you say the Super Bowl expectations were for the Patriots were coming into this season? Beyond wildly unreal.
Completely.
What would you say the Super Bowl expectations for the Cincinnati Bengals were in 2021 before the season started?
Unreal.
Wildly unreal.
But here's my thing is,
Joe Burrow's that special.
I can say that, like, sure, there's a chance
I'll
win the
put it
lottery.
like this. I don't think it's Super Bowl or bust for, the Bengals necessarily. I think it's more you better have Joe Burrow what he needs to succeed, or he's gone. He's leaving. I think it has more to do with that. Yeah, I know Jordan Battle's on Cincinnati. I never really. I guess I don't know, forgot. I don't know. You keep up with so many players that it's difficult to remember everything, but Jordan Battle, I've watched him at Alabama. He's with the Bengals, so yeah.
Play those unrealistic expectations. I said a 25.
You think it's that crazy?
I don't think it's
winning
that
the
crazy.
lottery to go in.
Joe Burrow plays 17 games and he's healthy going into the playoffs.
They're winning at least 12 of those.
But here's the problem, T, and nobody talks about this. Real football heads, and TJ better admit it because he should know it. When the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, they went in large part during the playoffs on the back of the defense.
Yes.
People don't. Everybody, Joe Burrow,
Hey,
Joe
but
Burrow,
think
Joe Burrow,
about this.
Joe Burrow.
That game against
They went
Tennessee.
on the back of the defense.
But think about this, though. You know where that defense was ranked? The defense played great in the playoffs.
Correct.
But that wasn't a top-ranked defense.
Not at all. But
in the playoffs,
they showed up.
Very well, yeah.
So what I'm saying is everybody keeps saying Joe Burrow this, Joe Burrow that. It was the defense that helped get, I think might have been some pick sixes, some turnovers. It was the defense that ushered the Bengals into the Super Bowl.
Timely stops against the Titans, timely stops against the Raiders.
Didn't that Raiders round one, I think?
The Raiders were, round one, and then Tennessee.
Yes, Raiders round one, if not for the defense. So to me, T, I don't see this Bengals defense getting timely stops.
You know what people aren't talking about? This offensive line may be the best offensive line that Joe Burrow has had. if Amarius Sims, the
You
right
gotta
tackle,
think that was a major factor in Joe Burrow staying healthy is the offensive line collapsing. And to keep your quarterback healthy, you've got to have a good offensive line. They addressed these issues. What else did they address? They addressed the defense. They brought in great temporary pieces. You signed, shout out to Jonathan Allen. You signed Jonathan Allen to a 2-year deal. You also brought in Dexter Lawrence from the Giants, and you also have Battle. You have Jordan Battle, Roll Tide. So you have 2 former Alabama players, Jordan Battle and Jonathan Allen. So I mean, I think they have great pieces to help them right now.
Got to get better.
he was pretty good last year.
Maybe he's meant to.
He was pretty good last year. And so he's going to improve. Baby Zeus, you know, he's going to improve. We would hope.
You would hope.
He got this new stance or something. We got to get up out that stance. We can't play effective football at that new stance. I don't know who coaching him, but he's a baller.
Yeah.
That offensive line is going to be better. If that offensive line is going to be better, what you going to do? Play us in the 2-high shell?
Yep.
Because you ain't going to play no defense that he's not going to be able to recognize.
Kieran, you go to UT a lot. You go to University of Texas camps a lot. When I went on my official visit, T, it was hot. 95 degrees hot. We had black pellets on the turf, which make it about 12 degrees hotter.
I
It's
hate
hot
when he
in
gets
Texas.
into these little stories about himself.
When I went on my official visit, I was complaining about the heat. But they were like, look, it's hot in Texas. That's just what it is. Acho, you want to go to Michigan, go to Ann Arbor. It's cold there. You can't hope it's going to be cold in Austin and hot in Ann Arbor. I say that to say, it is what it is. Joe Burrow is who he is. He gets hurt. So if we want to start these hypothetical situations of, but what if Joe Burrow plays 18? Well, what if we have a blizzard in Los Angeles?
Oh, if he gets
we're
hurt,
not going to.
Then if he gets hurt, everything that he said and we're talking about don't matter.
And you're right. But the kicker is, that's what he does. L.A. gets earthquakes. Dallas or Texas, it gets tornadoes. And Joe Burrow, he gets
a dog
hurt.
barks. Like, it is, you're
It
going
is
to be
what
what
it is.
you
What
are.
it is. You're going to be what you are.
It ain't that
It
bad.
ain't that bad. I'm telling you, it ain't that bad. He's proven that when he has a decent offensive line, a decent defense, he can stay healthy and he can win. He's proven that. It's just unfortunate that the past few seasons, he hasn't gotten what he needed. And I know people blame that on, well, you spent so much money on your wide receivers that you didn't have nothing else to give Joe Burrow. Yeah, sure, you could make an argument for that. But you also have these other deals that can be made between trades, free agency, all of that, right? That's what the Bengals ultimately ended up doing.
17 games last season. Like not last year, the year before. And he had a good year. Defense was atrocious. That should be the question. I'm not going into it thinking that they're going to be bad. But what I do know is we're talking about Joe Burrow's statement. Joe Burrow should feel confident because the last time he played a full season, he threw 43 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. If they get that type of production out of Joe Burrow this year and a defense that can't get any worse, they can't. They can't. And I'm sorry, with the addition of Dexter Lawrence and what cat's name from
Jonathan
Seattle?
Allen.
Yeah, Jonathan Allen. Yeah,
Mafe.
Mafe. I don't think with it being as bad as it was, it can get worse. Also, another year in the same system.
But when have you seen the Bengals have 2 tackles like that?
I haven't.
Interior.
I
No.
Yeah.
And quietly, they both can rush the passer. They both can rush the passer. It's gonna be hell in that AFC. I'm telling you.
They also got a damn good edge in the draft.
I told him believe that though.
Cassius Hell.
Yeah, I like Cassius Hell.
He don't believe
And
that about
another good
Dexter Lawrence.
DB.
I don't believe that at all.
You
don't believe what?
Dexter Lawrence is an elite pass rusher. He's not even a great pass rusher.
Jesse, you said he's a butthurt ex-mediocre player that wishes he had played like a caliber Burrow. Yeah, that's the truth, right? I talked about this yesterday, Jesse. I said that Acho played for like 5 seconds in the NFL, and he acts like he's some experienced guy that has all this knowledge, and it just gets so annoying. It's so annoying. You have guys sitting next to you like TJ who had way more experience, way more long-term deals than you, but you're over here all the time talking about your stories And it's just, it's so annoying. And then he's like criticizing Joe Burrow while he's at it. And it's like, boy, hush, that man did more than you.
He's like a moderate
Dexter
to
Lawrence
good
is
pass rusher.
going to overpower you and put you in the quarterback's. He gonna put the lineman right in the quarterback's
And now he's
lap. That's what he
criticizing Dexter Lawrence. What the heck? What the heck is this?
gonna do. He gonna bull rush you into the quarterback. That's what he gonna do.
He had 2.5 sacks last year.
It ain't the sacks, it's the pressure forcing the quarterback to get off his spot.
Okay, bet. I give you that. But here's I'm glad we talking ball. I'm glad I got my dog T in the building.
I'm glad we talking ball. I mean, I get that you might not be talking ball the way these other guys are talking ball, but what do you mean? He acts like him and TJ are the only two that are having these conversations. I hate when they exclude Trey and Care Bear. Well, I say they, but I mean really Acho. And then whenever Shady's on, he does the same type of behavior. But Trey, Care Bear, and TJ are making way more sense than you right now, Acho. And you're over here saying things like, oh, I'm glad we can talk some ball. I'm glad I got my dog with me. Hush.
Let's talk ball. Beautiful people watching the Speakeasy. Congratulations. You came for a great show. I want to force the quarterback off of his spot for what?
Y'all, I don't understand it, but somehow, some way, get this. Nightcap. I love Nightcap. I prefer Nightcap in the Pat McAfee show. Somehow, Nightcap only has 2 point, is it zero, like a little over 2 million subscribers. Well, then you have the Pat McAfee show. They have the most. I think they have like close to 3 million. Somehow, Speakeasy has 2.6 million subscribers, and I'm like, how the heck do they have 2.6 million subscribers? It just baffles me because I feel like Nightcap should be right up there with the Pat McAfee show. I do. They're so funny. I love Shannon Sharp, love Ocho, and then they added someone from the NBA, Joe, into the conversation. And it is such a great time on that show. I'm just like, how the heck do Speakeasy have to I can't comprehend it. I just can't.
Edge rusher named Trey Hendrickson, who's beat the tackle, can come get the sack. If you got edge rushers that are getting hemmed up, hands to chest, moving the QB off his spot does nothing but alter and create different lanes for a quarterback to potentially step up and run to. So you're right about Dexter Lawrence. That works in New York because Brian Burns and his 16.5 sack behind is out there. Kayvon Thibodeau and his 7.5 sack behind is out there. And Ricky Abdul-Carter just trying to cause chaos. But in Cincy, until you can tell me a pass rusher that can commit a move to a rush and win, move the quarterback off his spot. He'll find a new spot and complete a pass. So you gotta bring some edge rushers to me.
At some point, Miles Murphy, I believe he was a 12th pick. Shamar was the 16th pick, I believe. And you signed Mafe to a contract.
Do something.
Free
TJ
agent.
Cooking right here.
And you draft Cassius Howe. One of those four dudes.
They're gonna produce.
One of the four.
Yeah, has to.
25%.
You just need one of the four. If one of them has a bad game, at least you have other options, right? He's over here acting like the Bengals got nothing, and it ticks me off.
One of the four. All you got to do is beat him with speed.
Yeah.
I ain't got to do no chop. I ain't got to stab you. I just got to beat you with speed.
Yeah.
That has to.
And it's shocking that he's even talking like this, because didn't Acho play defense, if I'm not mistaken? Let's Google Emmanuel Acho real quick, because if I'm not I know he played for Texas. I just can't remember what position he played. Emmanuel Ocho. And then he had his like little 1-year deals. Let's see. What position did you play? Linebacker. He was a linebacker. What are you talking about, Ocho? You're getting cooked by somebody who was wasn't TJ a wide receiver? You getting cooked by somebody who played opposite side of the ball. Yeah, Ocho, okay, so he had 1-year deals with Browns, Eagles. I'm guessing that's how he ended up friends with Shady, who they have on here occasionally. And the Giants, went back to the Eagles. So it's like, what are you talking about?
3 dudes or 4 dudes. If you don't get 8 to 11 sacks, it's a problem.
Okay, so let's go to Joe Burrow. Because if y'all remember last season, actually, it wasn't even last season. Was it at the start of this upcoming season? I can't remember when this interview was had now, but Joe Burrow really expressed his displeasures with the Bengals. And I feel like, which I've said multiple times on here, that Joe Burrow gave a warning to the Bengals and he said, you either get it right this upcoming season or I'm out. And so this is why they made all the changes that they made.
No, it certainly doesn't change my desire to win. If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for?
That was honestly heartbreaking. I ain't even going to hold you all. That was heartbreaking. Hearing him talk like that. Just, if you've seen him throughout his career, even at LSU, like he was always so charismatic and just, has a swag about him. And for him to speak out like that was extreme. But he was giving the Bengals a warning. I have no doubt about it. And this is why they corrected so many issues. Because it's like, it's the truth. If he's going to continue to get hurt, what is the point? He needs to be able to have fun winning. And if you're not able to keep him healthy, if you're not able to give him the pieces he needs to succeed, then why would he want to stay with the Bengals?
That's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table. And I've been through more than most, and it's certainly not easy on the brain or the body, so just trying to have fun doing it again.
Definitely a mental thing as well for him, not just physical, but you could tell it was really mentally draining for him. But let's go back to the other start of what they played from Speakeasy.
Some season expectations. I'll let you guys take a listen at what he had to say.
You saw what this roster looked like in 2021, albeit you were young, but that was a Super Bowl roster. Do you think what you see right now from this organization and in that locker room is a Super Bowl roster?
I think this is the most talented roster that we've had since I've been here.
Like I said before, I don't think Joe Burrow is saying that lightly. You looked at what I just played from where he was unhappy. Now he's speaking and talking about how talented he thinks this team is. I don't think he's saying that lightly.
What are you
doable?
Most talented roster they've had since he's been there, and he also said throwing the franchise record 48 touchdown passes in the season is very.
So
it
he's
is
going
doable
for that franchise record, and I hope he gets it. I hope, similar to my thoughts with the Eagles, I wanted it for the Eagles, right? Because of how they talk about Jalen Hurts, and I wanted him to beat the Chiefs. It's the same for the Bengals. Like, I want Joe Burrow to succeed and do well because of the way the media has covered him, because of the way they talk about the team. I would like to see Joe Burrow do well, and I think he has a really great chance right now at doing that. There's a reason why they have the Bengals second in rankings for potentially winning a Super Bowl this upcoming season. And you got to keep in mind, this is subject to change, right? Just because they're predicting it doesn't mean it's going to remain the same. We should all know that by now. But I would say, if I had to pick, I would want Joe Burrow and the Bengals to get a Super Bowl. I would want the Eagles to get a Super Bowl. And I would want the Lions to get a Super Bowl. Oh, the Ravens to get a Super Bowl. And the Commanders to get a Super Bowl. If, capital I, capital F, yeah, if, capital I, capital F, if the Cowboys are out, those are the teams that I would be going for. Those are the ones that I would pick. I would throw the Giants on there too. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I would throw the Giants on there as well. But top three, definitely. No. I'm gonna go top four. Definitely the Bengals, Eagles, Lions, and the Ravens. Those are the top four if the Cowboys are out. And I ain't saying, y'all know, I ain't saying that the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl or anything like that, because I just believe it when I see it. All right, moving on to...
I think for college football fans that remember the 2019 season for LSU fondly, this is just a happy day for you. This is a happy day for folks in the state of Louisiana. So again, if you love college football, if you love LSU, if you love talking ball year round, make sure you subscribe to doing that every single day right here on the On3 YouTube channel. I will also say this. We have, as of last night, reached out to Ed Orgeron's people to try to get him on the show. All right, so we are doing our due diligence there, and of course, another reason to be subscribed to the channel. Let's reset. Special Assistant to Defense and Recruiting is going to be Ed Orgeron's title at LSU. He has, of course, worked with Lane Kiffin before with their time together at Tennessee, with their time together at USC. Just as a college football fan in general, can we be a little bit selfish? I like that we got this dude back in college football.
I like it too. I ain't mad at it, Lane Kiffin. I think this is the best move. I don't care what anybody has to say with the Lane Kiffin right now. Could care less. Lane Kiffin knows how to recruit. He knows who to bring in, what pieces to bring in to help him succeed. And I think I think LSU is going to be nothing to play with this year.
Coach is one of the best seasons of all time in 2019 LSU, the Joe Burrow year that won the national championship, and then things just totally fell apart from there. But his personality, his passion, the Go Tigers of it all, like that's going to be fun to have back in college
Man, he
football,
does a great Coach O impression, but y'all remember, hey, and we talked about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow won his national championship at LSU and was under Coach O's head coaching. But after that, he got pushed out. And there was speculation that he had an affair. There's other issues going on. And so ultimately they parted ways. But now he's back. And it's just for the defensive role. He has some role with the defense and handling recruiting operations.
Can we all agree on that? I know it ended kind of sour, but here's the thing. Ed Orgeron's not overseeing a room. He's not overseeing a department. The things that caused it to fall apart at the end of Orgeron's time at LSU don't feel like they're quite as much in play here with what's going to be on Ed Orgeron's plate. What Edo is here to do, from my estimation, is to add some sauce to both those departments he's involved in. Say what you want about how things went at LSU at the end. You can never and should never question what Coach O is on the recruiting trail. Right now, the fact that he's in the state of Louisiana, back at a place like LSU, where he has, again, the last national championship that place has won to his name, probably holds some good weight, as if he needed that on the recruiting trail.
I'm telling you, they're going to be powerful at recruiting. And it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier when I played that Travis Hunter video. You don't need to be the best looking man to get an attractive girl. You don't have to have the most money. You don't have to have all these things. Sometimes all you need is to have a little swag to you. a little, personality, like present something that makes it undeniable that you are that person. And you can compare that with recruiting. If you got a swag to you, if you got that personality that this is something someone cannot turn down, an athlete, a high school athlete, is going to be attracted to you. And you can go with the transfer portal now because that's a big deal. All of that. NIL, don't get me wrong, NIL plays a major part. But I feel like with what LSU is doing, they're making moves to gain not only recruits, but they'll get people in the transfer portal. Then you add in, they'll spend a little on NIL. I mean, LSU, before Lane Kiffin even came to LSU already had a department dedicated to the education and I think it's attorneys as well for NIL to educate the athletes, right? So that's an attraction in and of itself. You're already utilizing resources to help benefit these players. There's just so many things. And I look at Lane Kiffin, what he was able to do at Ole Miss, given his situation that he was in. He was able to get a lot of people in the transfer portal because he was finding ways, little loopholes, to gain the transfer portal athletes, right? So you can't mail and you can't, what else? You can't have secret meetings. We all know that. You can't have that going down when recruiting. So Lane Kiffin was smart. There's nothing in the rules about social media. So he started hitting people up through social media and was able to get recruits that way. This just goes back to what I was saying. You don't have to have all these other things to be successful. All you have to do is have a swag about you and know the loopholes to make moves. That's all you need.
Skill sets in that department. Obviously, ground and defensive line. My thought here is when you look at what Brian Kelly didn't do at LSU, Lane Kiffin is tripling down on not making those same mistakes. Because what did we say so frequently with Brian Kelly at LSU? Hey, he's got a good track record. He's won a lot of games, but it just doesn't feel like he gets what that place is supposed to be. Because LSU is one of those unique jobs where I think fit is overrated, but I think getting it is not. Brian Kelly never really got Louisiana. Never really got what LSU was. LSU
I just
football
knew Brian Kelly, that was not a good option from the start. I just knew it.
Has a certain personality to it when it's humming. It's violent, it's physical, it's nasty, and honestly, it aligns a lot with what that fan base expects of their football program. Brian Kelly never got that. There may not be a person that gets that more on the face of the planet than Coach O. From Louisiana, again, coached LSU at a really high level. Personality of a football team, I think, matters a lot more than people want to give credit for. And the personality last year for LSU under Brian Kelly was unfreaking recognizable. If you don't believe me, go back to Brian Kelly's last game. They were emptying out Tiger Stadium for a home game at night against A&M. In the fourth quarter, that place was barren, overrun by A&M fans. It's not LSU's personality. They weren't physical. They couldn't run the football. You didn't fear LSU. They were talented. They're always going to be talented. LSU had a bunch of draft picks this most recent NFL draft. But it's not about having talent and having draft picks and those things. It's about, do you play a certain style of ball? Are you physical enough at a place like LSU to go win the games that you're supposed to win? So Ed Orgeron is going to be great on the recruiting trail. It's obvious. But I get more excited about the personality he brings that LSU is missing a season ago.
I'm telling you, you got Lane Kiffin, his personality. You've got Coach O, who people loved. It's going to be great. It's going to be great for LSU.
Now, I don't think we should dismiss this too. Really good coaches, really good leaders, they don't have to be great at everything. Like I don't think the skill set of Lane Kiffin is what this hire speaks to so much. It speaks to what he's not. Like, Lane Kiffin, say what you want about what he is as an offensive, mind and what he did at Ole Miss and how he recruited the portal and all those things. Lane Kiffin is not from Louisiana. Like, he is, I think, trying to embrace that place and ingratiate himself in what that place has to offer. You see him out at Mardi Gras, you see him out in the community and all those things, all well and good, but he is not truly from
Lane
Louisiana.
Kiffin, it don't really matter with Lane Kiffin, right? He just has that personality about him. He's able to adapt wherever he goes, and people love him, although he has been in some controversies lately.
Orgeron is. And so Lane Kiffin, not just hiring someone he knows, trusts, and has worked with before at a high level, he said, I'm hiring somebody that gets this place at the most elite level, which I think will pay dividends. So, again, I think it's a win for college football. I think it's a win for LSU. If you hate the hire, my question would be why? What are you really worried is going to happen? This guy's going to help with recruiting, going to help on the defensive side. What is it that you think is so bad that's going to be in play here? What is the future for Coach Orgeron at LSU? I don't know. My guess would be he probably wants to get into a higher level role, whether that's overseeing recruiting at another school, whether he wants to oversee recruiting at LSU. I mean, I don't know what the ultimate goal is for him, but I think he wants to get further and further back into coaching and not just be a special
I think
assistant.
that's true. I think he does want to get back into coaching, so he didn't want to take a coordinating job, and then that's why he's doing what he's doing now with LSU. And I don't blame him for that, but eventually I do think he wants to be back into a higher up position. Let me move on now to the teams that I'm predicting to win the SEC. Well, not just the SEC, but a national championship. So you have the Texas Longhorns. Now, this isn't my list. This is Google's list. But you have the Texas Longhorns, and Texas was interesting to me. To see that number 1 was fascinating, and I think it's because of what's been going on with the questions with Sarkisian's coaching. You have questions with Arch Manning. Yes, he's talented, but is he consistent? This one was fascinating to me, but they said Texas is the top-ranked SEC team, armed with a roster stacked with blue-chip talent. Now, it is predicted that you're going to have a higher QB draft pick out of this class than you did this past season. But here we go. Head coach Steve Sarkisian is handing the full-time reins of the offense to star quarterback Arch Manning, making them a premier title threat. I would not have picked the Texas Longhorns. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I just wouldn't have picked them because of the moves that LSU's been making. But we'll continue on. Georgia is next on this list. Let me play my CDT beats while I talk. Georgia is next on this list. Kirby Smart's program remains the standard for consistency in the conferences. Fresh off winning the 2025 SEC Championship, they feature a terrifying, deep defense and a highly stable program framework. All right. Third on the list, let's see. Oh, my bad. That was it for this one. Let me go to the next one. The LSU Tigers. Y'all, this is who I would put higher up. But they have them third. Entering a highly anticipated season under new management with Lane Kiffin taking over the helm. And then you also brought in Coach O. Coach O's back. The Tigers boast a reconstructed, explosive roster built to contend late into January. I'm telling you, LSU is going to be a threat. So fourth on the list is Texas A&M. This one kind of surprised me. I just was not expecting Texas A&M, even though they did decent this, past season. I just wasn't considering them to be high up. But it says that, backed by quarterback Marcel Reed, the Aggies have the talent profile to challenge the top of the conference after flirting with a top 4 seed last year. So that makes sense. If they have returning players, it makes sense. 5th on the list, Roll Tide, y'all. We have Alabama Crimson Tide at number 5. Honestly, this one, to even have them at 5, I feel like is not shocking, but also I don't even know if I would put them at 5. I might even put them lower. But Alabama at 5, while the Crimson Tide fell slightly down the odds boards after losing 10 starters to the NFL draft, Kalen DeBoer's squad still commands massive respect and retains a championship floor. You've just got a lot of question marks right now with Alabama. Got to figure out the quarterback situation. You got to figure out your offensive line issues. You're addressing every player that you lost in the draft, and then you also, I wasn't the biggest fan of Kane Wommack's defense, but I've heard his name pronounced different ways, but I say Kane Wommack. I've heard people say Womack or something like that, but I say Womack, okay? Sue me. But it's fascinating to me. I don't have the highest expectations with not only Alabama, but the SEC in general. I don't have the highest expectations, and we'll get into that. I'll cover that more in a second. So, the next on the list is you have the Oklahoma Sooners at 6, 7, Ole Miss Rebels, which honestly kind of surprised me. I would put Ole Miss above Alabama, if I'm being honest with you, just because you have Pete Golding. Pete Golding was under Nick Saban as a defensive coordinator, and obviously he went to Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, and Lane Kiffin was another one who was with Nick Saban. So you have someone who has that Nick Saban mindset as a head coach, and you have returning players. I feel like Ole Miss deserves to be number 5. I don't feel like Alabama deserved the 5 spot, if I'm being honest with you. There's just too many question marks for Alabama right now. And the Florida Gators at 8. Man, the Florida Gators have a lot of issues. I don't know if I would even put them at 8. I would put the Tennessee Volunteers above Florida Gators. But that's the list. I gave you all my thoughts of what I would change. And this is why, I spoke on this before too, but this is why I don't feel like it really matters too much what the SEC is doing, just because it's the Big Ten's time to shine. Right now, we're living in the Big Ten Conference, okay? We have all these different eras of different rule changes that impacted which conference dominates in national championships. You all can read it for yourself. I've been over this a million times. I'll continue to go over it, okay? I want to continue to talk about it. But I feel like this is very telling. Like, don't think too highly of the SEC right now. Just don't. I hate to say that. It's just, you've got to think that with the NIL and transfer portal benefiting the Big Ten, and then you've also seen only the Big Ten the past 3 years since the NCAA and the college playoff committee made the changes to have the transfer portal wide open, bring in NIL, you have the playoff expansion. Also, you switched from, starting out, you switched from the BCS to the CFP, and I believe that that was an attempt to try to make it more difficult for the SEC to succeed. Obviously, it didn't work at first because the SEC still dominated, But then they made the other changes. They were like, all right, we got to do something else. We can't have another Georgia and Alabama national championship. So they switched to having the transfer portal open, having the playoff expansion, and bringing in NIL, which brings us to where we're at now with Big Ten dominating. So I just wouldn't get your hopes up too high for the Big Ten, like for any other conference besides the Big Ten to succeed right now. I hate to say that, but the SEC has not been there in 3 years. And there's a reason for that. I respect that list, Chelsea. Yeah, it's not my list. I mean, this did come from Google, but I mentioned what I would make changes on. And I would put, hold on, let me go back to it. I would put LSU higher. I would put LSU higher on the list just because of Lane Kiffin, the pieces that they have. You also brought back Coach O. I would have to think that LSU should be higher on the list. I'm not mad at Texas Longhorns being number one. I want to see Sarkisian succeed. Sarkisian's another one. Y'all, Sarkisian, he is another one that's from the Nick Saban coaching tree, and he speaks so highly of Nick Saban. I love Steve Sarkisian. I really hope he does well. I don't know if they could. We'll see. We'll just see if they can compete against what Ohio State has going on. Because Ohio State's been pretty consistent. Even though they didn't make it this past season, they've stayed consistent. And I think they might have another dominant season. I feel like Ohio State could be the next Alabama. With all the changes that the NCAA and the College Playoff Committee made, I feel like it benefits Ohio State right now. But yeah, that's the list. I'll probably speak more of this tomorrow. Y'all, I am so exhausted. The news of Kyle Busch passing away, that's a lot to process. I feel like that kind of changed the momentum for me for the show, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think I'll probably just recover some of this tomorrow whenever I'm processing information better, because I feel like I haven't processed information the greatest today. So that's unfortunate, but always room to improve and grow and get better. I do have a new outro that I'm excited to show y'all. So stick around for that after this second motivational video. Wait, let's see what you said. TD, OSU lost almost all their players on the defense in the draft. Like yesterday, I said we had all our top defenders go, none other than, oh yeah. Now see, here's the thing with that, right? Alabama did that. Alabama lost players, they lost coaches, they lost so much, right? And every time it was the next man up mentality, they just reload. I feel like that's what Ohio State's going to do. You have a consistent head coach. You have the NIL money. They're able to get people in the transfer portal. You also have, which was it? Was it the defensive coordinator? They gave a huge deal to the defensive coordinator. So you're keeping that defensive coordinator. You're going to make moves. You're just going to, reload, I feel like. I don't think that this, losing players to the draft, I don't think that impacts Ohio State like it does Alabama. It said that Alabama lost 10 players. That hurts Alabama more than it does Ohio State, because with Alabama, you got to think of them having a newer head coach. things have been hit or miss with Alabama's offensive line. You have a quarterback question mark. You also have, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of the defense. There's just more going on with Alabama than there is Ohio State. So, losing players to the draft for Ohio State is really nothing to them, I feel like. He's losing Carnell Tate. Will be a big fall, but we will definitely get another wide receiver duo soon, and we will definitely have tons of people that are good wanting to go. Yeah, you guys are going to have no issues whatsoever. I'm not concerned for Ohio State at all. Like I said, they're going to be another top team to compete for a national championship, in my opinion. If it's not Ohio State's season this year, it could possibly be Arch Manning. I don't know. I feel like the Big Ten conference, like I said, it just benefits them more. So we'll see if it's not another. I don't want to see another Big Ten win it. It's a little suspicious. Okay, y'all, it's getting a little suspicious. When you have back-to-back seasons where it's nothing but Big Ten, that's when it's like, okay, all right now. We gotta switch it up a little bit. But I get it. I mean, the same thing could be said about Alabama when they won back-to-back and you were constantly seeing SEC teams in the national championship. I get it. But I just don't like the Big Ten, y'all. I just don't like the Big Ten. And also, our starter QB, we lost in the draft too, but we have another QB coming up, I think. Okay, yeah, we'll talk more about this tomorrow, y'all. Like I said, I'm probably going to recover what I talked about because I just don't feel like my thought process was right today because of the news of Kyle Busch passing away unexpectedly. And for those of you who don't know who Kyle Busch is, he was a NASCAR Cup driver, I think 2-time champion, and he was a father, and he had 2 kids. One of the kids, he is into racing, so it's just devastating. He has a young daughter. It's really sad news, but let's close it out with something motivational.
The Lord said it's gonna be hard, and you have to persevere. Life is not easy. Keep going, boy. You got it. You strong. I promise you, you're so strong. Just keep going. You got it.
Congratulations.
Gotta persevere.
The Lord said it's gonna
That was from Jordan Tyson, but let's hear it again.
be hard, and you have to persevere. Life is not easy. Keep going, boy. You got it. You strong. I promise you, you're so strong. Just keep going. You got it.
Congratulations.
And this life ain't easy, y'all, but we gotta persevere. We gotta keep hoping that we're close to reaching our goals, and there's always going to be an obstacle, but you always gotta keep striving. All right, that'll do it for today's show, so I'll catch you in the next one. Touchdown Tribe. Bye, guys.
You